This time, alright. I do bad things to your phone. Things your mother would not like to hear. Okay, it says I'm live officially. Officially. Let me see. Let me check. Stop it. You. Your subscriptions. Where are your subscriptions? It says right here you are live. Oh, I hear it in background. We are working. We are getting success here. Top messages. I'm going to camouflage the top messages. Community moderation. Live chat on. Live chat summary on. Participant mode. Anyone. And that means anyone. Message delay. No, we don't have no delay. Blocked words. Well, these are your blocked words here. You cannot say Binance, Bitcoin, crypto. I don't know what OX, KYX, but it must be bad. USDT and the WhatsApp. Those are your blocked words. Don't violate that. And we will have no problems here. Hold potentially inappropriate chat messages, punk. No, we're not gonna do that. Okay, what are we gonna do now? Hey, shut up, you in the background. You echo. Okay. Now we put up a message here. Stop message. I don't see no message. Oh, here it is. Here's stop message. What took you so long, you dumbass? No, you can't say bad word. Yes, we can say bad word today. I don't care. Bad word is okay with me. Let's see if we can do microphone. Whoa, this is so good. Tap to pause. Your mother eats gophers. Let's see if it gets that one. Oh, I gotta have it on. Your mother eats gophers. Oh, this is good. It's good. It's good. Now I know how to type. A lot of times before I no type on because I hunt and peck. Hunt and peck. Now I don't have to hunt for a peck. All right, you get up there where we can see you. You get down here so we can see comments. Yes, this is way to do live stream, I tell you. You know, listen to me. Why you not listen to me? All right, we put this up here. We get ready for people to arrive. If they know arrived and I just talk to myself, that's okay. I've done that before. I know how to do it. Don't drop that lock on your foot. I'm telling you, it might hurt. Might hurt. It does hurt. Okay, where is my? We see how video create. We got all these things here. Lighting on. Look at that. Oh, I'm learning. He's old, but he's learning, sir. Okay, what do we do? All right, we're going to break out. I'm gonna stop speaking Russian now for just a little bit. We're going to break out Byron's gifts to me one at a time, and I'll tell you right off that I'm tempted to keep this because I go through hats all the time, but this may be. Hey, Tom, how's it going? I can see that you have arrived. Yes. Please strap in and make sure your seat backs are in the upright position because this could get wild. All right, what we're going to do is I'm going through, I'm not putting this box up there in case I mistakenly put his or mine address up and this is live, you know, so I'm going to go one at a time. And I got over here, I can see the chat. I can see all kinds of stuff. I can see for Miles and hello, Pepper Dingo. Hola, mi amigo. He calls me Wild Man. I've been called Wild Man before, Madman, Billy the Kid, you name it. And if people would have known my middle name, the reason why I stopped using it when I was a kid, there was a show called Milton the Monster Show. And they were calling me that, and you know, I could have just gone with Milt, you know, but anyways. So we're going to have fun. I don't know how long this is going to last, but somewhere along the line, I'm going to drop the magic word. You can repeat it here in the chat, but just try to drop it in the sentence in case somebody, you know, just drops in and doesn't know what we're talking about. And they can always go back to the beginning of the live stream, or they could just figure it out because I'm going to do the drawing tomorrow and it will be live here on it. And all of this is possible because of my new friends. Let me turn this light off here. Let's see if I know how to control over here. Lighting. No, I don't want no lighting. Relight off, it says. Relight. What does that mean? Relight. And what is showing here? There's still a light on. What are you talking about? Huh. Crazy. What is a relight? I don't know. Figure something out here. It says, I got a menu on the side here. It says flip. You don't want to see that unless you want to get scared. Here goes. This is flip. Oh, it's too close. It's scary. Yeah. There. I scared all of these vermin away. Now we don't have to worry about the vermin. All right. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to make sure I'm still able to. All right, Tom. What I wanted to let you know is that anybody that's a member, either you or I can give them the wrench. If they don't want to do it, they don't have to. This is just going to take the pressure off of you. I'll try to tell you, hey, Dandy, William, magic words are satanic. Ooh, that would be cruel, wouldn't it? No, we'll take suggestions. We'll take suggestions, but no, we'll come up with the magic word. I don't think I have one right now, but we can come up with one, you know. And all the magic word is tomorrow, when we do the giveaway, the way we're going to figure out who's in the giveaway is if you drop the magic word. Now, again, I have to tell you the rules about, you know, you got to be 18, only one entity, you know, per entry. And it's unfortunately this one right now is kept to the lower 48 states, you know, because of shipping. But Christmas is coming up, and I have a way of doing an overseas giveaway, and that is, unfortunately, it's just money, you know. Yes, I can reveal what this month's giveaway is. We can go through that right now. As a matter of fact, we will wait for other people to arrive, and we will get our goodies out. All right. Oh, I'm standing up. I'm going to find them where I put them. Stand by, talk amongst yourselves. No fighting. No fighting, we bring Boris out. Alright, I gotta go find them. Because I got this one up here, but... Oh, they're behind me. They are behind me. I made it easy on myself. Yes, I did. I made it easy. Oh, this is so far. I'm dropping stuff. Oh, keep in mind, I don't have my glasses again. I mean, they're around here somewhere, but I'm flying blind, as it were. Literally flying blind. I can see the screen. I can see blurry objects. I dropped this. I think this I had before. This, yes. And this, yes. All right, let me get back here. This camera. All right. So, what we have was the main... Stop vibrating. Stop bouncing. And why is that light like that? All right, we can leave it on. We just put this over here where I can see it. Okay. So, this was a main giveaway knife from the members and everything else that was put together. All right. It's a Rough Rider Capersvel. We'll put the box over there and don't lose that box. All right. And this is the knife. It is a... Oh, look at that. Isn't that... See? I'm going to polish that up, but that is something patinaed that for you already. But I'll take that off. I got some case paste and everything. I'll pretty it up. All right. Let me see. I want to open up lead without cutting fingers. Good luck on that. All right, it has a nail pull. It has a half stop. It has a full stop. It is the RR2060 China. What does it say? Don't hold blade like that, it says. I don't care. Cut me if you like. 440 razor sharp steel. I believe it's 440A. But that's a good way of getting away with it. Could be anything. 440. You have a nice pin blade here, nice pin blade. Nice walkie-talkie. Here's your little bit of gaps right here. I don't mind. I personally don't mind any gaps here. What gets me concerned anytime is like the actual pinned on stuff. If there's some gaps, I don't feel any. Like I said, this will come off, but that's the one thing about copper. It will, and they ship it in a little plastic bag. I've had it out of that plastic bag. I've handled it a little bit. This, I don't know what caused that, and I will not speculate. We will try to keep it family friendly, even though it will not be family friendly. All right, let's put this here. It depends on what family you're in. I don't know. All right, so that's one. If you will get back in there, you're supposed to canoe your way in there. Oh, there's a way it goes, and there's a way it don't go. All right, let me put that one in there. That's a bond. Let me put you over here to keep you separate. All right. Of course, you need dinosaur, right? You need dinosaur. I went to Dollar Tree. My sister still works there. She's no longer a cashier. She's a stalker. So not that kind of stalker, the shelf stalker. These have gone up from $1.25 to $2. I still think they're worth it. This guy's big. He's bigger than Boris. He's bigger than most dinosaurs here. He has no name, but he has his papers. He is a wild creature. He's a dinosaur. He flies in the land, in the air, and the sea, they say. I don't think so. I think he's land. Oh, here's his barcode. You can put it on his neck. And then it's distributed by Greenbrier International Incorporated, Chesapeake, Virginia, in Canada. It's done in these, but it's imported by DT Imports, Burnaby, BB, made in China. That's all you need to know. All that other stuff is the people that supplied them with the money to make it, and they made it. We have Stacy. Bolster's Bleds. She will go in the sticker. And thank you, Stacy. She sent a lot of stuff before. I have one of my old school stickers. I don't have these anymore. We'll take a vote. I'm running out of these guys, right? I have some left. I completely ran out of those. This is just an extra one. Of these two, which do you like most? And I tend to go with this just because it's easy and it's big. It didn't turn out square. I've had them in square before too, with just that. I like this one also because it's got like all the knives in there. So decide on that, but those two are going in there. Okay, we need to hurry. Some people have a life. Okay, I know I don't. All right, what do we got here? All right, these are little seashells from the seashore. It's actually from Lake Bardwell when it was low. If you go over there other times after it's been raining, you won't see the shoreline. Get your these are not dirty fingers. These are just damaged fingers. I did take a shower. I took it and I put it somewhere. All right. So this is one of the knives that Byron, everything in here he said I could keep or give away. It was up to me. Because it's in a nice little package and I usually give at least 2 knives out, I'm going to throw this one in, and it's a Ozark Trails 7-inch folding knife, Navaja Plegrable de 18 centimeters. I think that means that it's 18 centimeters. It's a knife, a Navaja. I don't know what Plegrable means. It probably means it's dangerous. Don't hurt yourself. Stainless steel blade, rubberized handle, assisted bearing opening. Ooh, that's nice. I'd like to flick it, but assisted opening. Let's see if we can surreptitiously get in here. All right, let's see what it says on the back. 3-inch stainless steel blade, 4-inch rubberized handle, ball bearing assisted opening. Ooh, that's cool. Liner lock, pocket clip. And then there's all the dangers and the warnings. This product can expose you to chemicals, including lead, which is known by the state of California to cause cancer and birth defects. All right, don't breed while using this. Another reproductive harm. And cancer, what doesn't cause cancer nowadays? Find out more. Walmart. Rubberized. It's a rubberized. All right. You can recycle the paper card. You can recycle the plastic. You just have to look. All right. I think it's made in China. Hecho in China. Hecho. So that's another one. Nice. Well, sorry. We have things to do. I have all night, really. I mean, I've got Wi-Fi. I've got a battery charging up my phone right now. I have backup power. And we're going to throw in one of these from now on. It's no where I'm at, and it's mostly just advertisements and crap, but sometimes it includes good stuff in there. I will go crazy while talking about this. Get off the pain train! Goodbye, back and neck pain. Without surgery. Discover the healing powers of non surgical spinal decompression. You know how I do that? I lay on the floor. That's how I do it. I don't pay any money for that. I lay my back on the floor. Struggling with chronic pain? Well, stop doing the chronic. You've tried everything pills, injections, maybe even considered surgery. But the pain just keeps coming back. Non-surgical spinal decompression is a revolutionary treatment that no one's ever heard of before. It stretches the spine gently. You know, they had inversion therapy too. My mother-in-law, my first one, she had one of those inversion boot things. She would hang upside down in. It's probably pretty good, but you know, all the blood rushes to your head. Imagine no more sharp shooting pain. We'll just give you some dull pain. No more sleepless nights, just sleepless days. No more missing out on life, just missing out on money. Real life for, no, real relief for herniated and bulging disc. Sciatica, I have that. Degenerative disc disease. Who knows, but my things pop. Chronic neck and low back pain. Low back pain, yes. Neck, yeah, it's there. All right. So that's an example of something you're going to get. Whether you like it or not, you're going to get that. All right, we're running out of stuff here. And of course, something no one's ever seen before, the rare and almost never seen Smoky Mountain Knife Work sticker. All right, so that's it so far. I may find more goodies. All right, let me check up on chat. Catch up with everyone. See if anyone's in here that's a member that does not have a wrench by their hand. Nope. Everybody looks cool. All right. So, if you'll pardon me for just a second, I need to hydrate or rehydrate. Get that ready. And the orange stuff in my glass, you know, I can make up a lot of stories. It's Gatorade. You know, it has no alcohol in it. All right, let's turn up the audio so I can hear you speaking. Need to hydrate or rehydrate. Oh, I can hear myself speaking. And the orange stuff in my glass, you know, I can make up a lot of stories. It's Gatorade. It has no alcohol in it. I'm looking for orange stuff. You got any? Don't see my glass. Look outside. I have to make, let me turn this down. I have to make a new glass because one of the stupid things I did, I was bending over with the glass in my hand and poured it all over the floor. So, bear with me. Not that kind of bear. I'm going to have to crawl underneath this tripwire here. And head towards the kitchen on all fours. Get up, you dog. You spineless pig, you. Alright, I'll make more Gatorade. Is always a good choice for coffee. No, I would like coffee, but I'm dehydrated. I need to drink electrolytes. You got any electrolytes on you? Yes, sir, we do have electrolytes. What kind would you like? Well, I will take the orange electrolyte, please. Make me feel better. Alright, here you go. One scoop or two. One, this one. No, we gave you two, sorry. Too late. But you prefer tap water or tap water? Tap water is good for me. It's better than puddle water. Okay, I'll mix it for you. Would you like the usual vodka? No, I have Skippy vodka this time. That's a little honey though. Who are you calling honey? No, it's the honey that the bees make. Now I call you honey. Why are you so nervous? wrong with you? You need to lighten up. Chill out, boo. Right, you go back here and don't tell anybody what we were talking about. Yeah, I gotta crawl under again with my glass. Oh, shit. Fall down. I only spilled a little and it didn't go anywhere but the carpet. It's okay. Nobody saw that except for a little girl and she's asleep. But she saw it. She's not gonna tell. Oh, let's spray more. I think we made it. We're getting back. We're getting back. I landed. I sat down. I'm here. I'm here again. What happened? Oh, I need a drinky. Just a second. I'll get back to you. Oh, let me see if. Yes, I think we're still live, right? Be good and. Uh-oh, you heard it. You were not supposed to hear that. Be good and eat honey. All right, let me check with chat, see if there's any requests, and we will continue on with the... This was the first thing that Byron gave away. There are some Byron stickers that need to go in there. I always mess up... his name. Not his name, but his channel. We're not doing that. Cut that out. Danny Dino is AWOL right now. I don't know where he's at. Let me stand up without falling down. Okay. Let me put pieces here easier to grab rather than on floor or my back. I need to get old man picker up, I think. Here we go. Huh. Let me make life easy now. Huh. You get away from that, that's mine. Hey, stop it, I bite you. Behave, people are serious here. We don't want anything. This is a serious matter. Giveaways. Oh, come on. And don't disturb your little girl. Remember, she's down there. You can step on her. Right, where am I? Okay, we got rid of the hat. I'm getting ready to pull out the next item, which I will probably keep because most of my t-shirts have holes all through them. And when you see this t-shirt, you will understand. Disconnect the power connector. There we go. I think we have enough juice to go right now. All right, pull back, pull back. That's it, pull back. All right, stay still. Okay, here we go. This is another one that he gives me that, oh, it's so nice. Case collection. Timeless traditions. It's so good. It's nice and soft. It feels like 100% cotton, but there may be some. Yes, it is. It is 100% cotton. Oh, it's good. It's good. Algodon. Made in Honduras. Huh. See, you thought China, didn't you? Made in Honduras. What is this other one here? It says splitting slices. Yes, yes. I keep saying sometimes slick slices, and if you ever know from before, you don't want to mix them up with slick slicers, you know. But I said slick slices in one video. Went, crap, it's splitting. So I just muted. I just edited that out. Bingo. Yeah, you didn't see that. But no, I'm probably gonna keep this one because I can wear anywhere from see, this is an XL. I can wear anywhere from a small to super XL. I don't know. Whatever falls off my shoulders. It just makes it looser. So really, I can wear any size t-shirt. I'll probably keep that. I'm just saying. I'm not being greedy. I'm just being needy. Because I need a new t-shirt. I'll show you how bad. Oh, this is another good one. This is another good one that I kept looking at these saying, oh, these things would be, would make a good giveaway and stuff. And then I thought, man, I like collecting cards that are knife related. I think Tobias does that and a lot of other people do it. Getting it out of this thing is kind of tricky. It's a little plastic holder. Kind of tricky. I mash you here, but I have damage. Brain damage. Well, you must assume what it looks like on the inside. I'm not going to completely open it up, but there's a pack of Case Family Reunion cards in here. Hopefully there's pictures of Case knives in there. When I get my coordination back, we'll look at that. Don't mix those up with the giveaway stuff. No, it might be a giveaway one day. We don't know. All right, I'm reaching in. I'm pulling something else out. I don't know. Now, this also could be in the giveaway. Now, what I was going to do was, I don't like to say I'm going to do something and then not do it. And one of the things I was going to do was do a homemade slip for any traditional knife I make. But I think this should go with any traditional knife. And we have a canoe in here, don't we? So yeah, this is going to go in the giveaway also. I wish you could see if I could turn on the light here. Can we retouch? No, we don't want to retouch. Don't touch me in the first place. What is wrong with you? Create highlight. Lighting. Here we go. Relight on. What did you see in here? It's actually off. It's backwards. No wonder I have a problem with this. It is actually backwards. Lighting on. And it says relight off. I don't know. I don't see no light either. I don't know. I don't know what happened here. I know how we can fix it. We get a flashlight, which I happen to have, and we make our own illumination. You'll see. There we go. I had it on lockdown. Okay, you come back. You come down there. There we go. Traditional pocket knives. It's a nice leather slip. It's got little drain holes here. It's nice embossing. And this is probably from the traditional pocket knives website or channel. You buy a knife and they give. So that's gonna go in the giveaway. Include that because as nice as it is, I can make my own slips. Okay. Now here's a knife that he again he said I could keep, you know, and I'm very tempted to at least use it for a little while and then send it on. But he's a Kaiser, sharing respect. Oh, it's upside down. Innovation. And then you get a little microfiber clothing. But look at this, man. Look at this. This is pretty cool. Is it not? I think it's pretty cool. It has a Halloween theme to it. It has a little purple accent here. And it says, trick or treat. You give me a treat or I give you a trick. But look at this. It's a drop point. Isn't it cool? It's not. I just open it easy, but you could thumb stud it. But if you know what's happened to my fingers, that's one of the reasons why I don't like thumb studs. But because it's a axis lock, you can do it without using it. So this is pretty cool. It's about the size of an Elementum. These look like, but it's got the, in one way it's horizontal hatching, I think. Here's a back pocket clip. I will definitely use this for a while, okay? But it may go in a future giveaway. But I like this. I like this knife and I will use it for a while. Let's see what else is in the package here. This is what it came in a little. I will keep all this stuff here with it. And you get these little extras. I don't know what those little extras are. Oh, an extra Omega spring and some screws. That's nice. And what else? This is the last thing that you get in this. Kaiser since 2013. And it tells you in English, if you need any help or read the manual, please scan QR code. Okay, see how I'm not going to try to go through all of these, but I could fix some of these right here. I can speak Russian. If you need any help or read the manual, please scan QR code or we kick your butt. All right, so we put that up there and that up there. This, like I said, may go into a future giveaway, but for right now, I'm going to carry it and not abuse it, but use it, you know. And if I feel like I can part with it, I will. But, you know, all I'm seeing is the last, oh, no wonder. It wasn't scrolling up. Dandy, I think you're the last one to comment. That is nice. I think Kaiser did some, yeah, good. It's fading away now on the screen, but you know I couldn't see it. All I was stuck was. Let me put this up here in case it's not going to show in the future. Somebody just popped up. Dave Kelly. Hello, Dave. We'll be doing more live streams, Dave. And anybody that's a member, please let me know if you're a member of WKL membership, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make anybody that's a member, I'll do it later, you know, but anybody that's a member, I'm going to give them a little wrench like Tom has got. So Tom doesn't have to do it all the time if he wants. And all you're doing, Tom, all I ask of you to do is if we run into any bots or anything like that, or we get any issues, you can time out or, you know, whatever you feel is appropriate for that. And in the meantime, I'm going, oh, hey, there's Don's. Don's is another cool guy. He's over in Australia. Good day, William. I don't know if I can say his Australian accent very well. He's a very cool guy. He is into locks. He's into ham radio. Oh, and Don, guess what? I'm going to try for the, I'm going to get into ham radio. I don't know if I'll ever be able to reach you, you know, Australia. But I'll learn about repeaters and everything else. So that's the people right here. And what we've been doing is, if you go back and look earlier, I was showing what the giveaway will be tomorrow. Now we got to come up with a magic word. I think I have one, but I'm not sure. I'm open to suggestions. But what we do is, you can repeat the magic word in here on the live chat, and if somebody doesn't know it, you can tell them. You know, I mean, it's not going to be super secret. And then tomorrow, we're going to do the giveaway, and that way, I thought about doing it on the live stream, but you know, only so many people can show up at a time, and it would really limit it. So this way, we're just going to come up with the magic word, and then tomorrow, you know, in the video, let's see, not in the video. Tomorrow we're going to do the giveaway, but I got to have something. All right, so not in this live stream chat, but in the regular one that comes up afterward, drop the magic word in a sentence or something like that if you could, so that someone, they can't just necessarily, you know, if you just drop one word and it's unusual or different, they're going to know that it's a magic word. So try to put it in a sentence if you could. But if that happens, it's no big deal. It's not like, you know, the YouTube police are going to arrest you or anything like that. All right. Oh, well. Oh, and guess what, Duns? I'm going to do an international giveaway in December. And the way I'm going to do it is, this will avoid any knife laws or anything else. I'm going to make it where you have to have a PayPal account or something that I already have or that will work over there. And then we'll do a giveaway only for international. And it will be for a monetary amount, like $40 or something like that, or, you know, something that would allow you to buy a knife if you wanted to. And then we don't have to worry about any of that crap about shipping or any of that stuff like that. And it would be only open to international people. And I may raise that price because I can only do this like once a year for right now. And I'm doing monthly giveaways for everybody else. And I really do appreciate the people from, you know, from what I call overseas, you know, and it used to be we could send it, even if it was shipping, you know, we could send it, sorry for the earthquake here, we could send it, see, not in this part, let me kill the live chat, sorry, pow, but in this one, see where you can say, no, it's not live chat, but when it comes down here, you can comment on the video, this video itself. That's where you're going to be doing your entry for the magic word, which we're going to drop today. But we'll do the giveaway tomorrow, and then that way people can do it. And we'll do it live, too, so you'll be able to see everything. All right, so let me take a swig. Let me take a swig here and get a little break. I'll decompress my spine. It does not cost me $2,000 either. I let gravity work on it. And, man, I found the best way to ease into it because you don't realize how much your spine curves when you get older. And if you're using YouTube and all that stuff and you have poor eyesight, you'll hunch over and all this other stuff. And man, if you just lay on something like a picnic table or something like that, you have to ease into it. But once you get flat, you can just feel gravity go to work. Everything decompresses. It feels good. After a while, if you crash out like I did before, um, you'll find you got pressure points on your body that don't like that, and you'll wake up. I mean, I will, because I usually sleep on my side, but man, I really like that. It's just something that if I'm feeling pain, all it takes is like decompressing is good, but man, getting back up. I mean, you feel better, but oh, you'll feel it if you try to move too soon. All right, well, let's continue where we are at. And we'll pull out another thing. All right, I am very tempted to keep this one also because it says buck knives on it, and it's stainless steel, and I can definitely have a use for it. And this is 18/8 stainless steel, made in China. I don't care. 16 ounce. Man, this is cool. I can definitely use that. So I would probably hold on to this. I tell you, no problem. And we'll have more stuff. Don't worry. We'll get more goodies. And also, what I'd like to say is that all this pain and everything I've gone through uh, was worth it. Now, man, this is kind of like going along with all those other ones. I'd hate to break that up, the family reunion thing. But I'll talk to Byron or whatever later and see if it's okay to give that away or to. He already said it's okay for me to give it away or keep it. So let me see. Get back to live chat here. Don's going. Okay, let me get caught up with chat here. Don says, "Woohoo! I'd like that international idea. Thank you. Yeah, aging sucks. Kids don't know what's coming. Yeah, for all those people that say, I want to live to be 100 years old. Really, really. I mean, have you looked at some 100-year-olds? Some do good, but that's why I know getting sleep is good because it helps prevent dementia and all this other stuff. What I was going through the other day was, I put in the video, the ordeal, and that way I don't have to repeat, everything that happened. Let me put this drop bear, flip it. I can do like that. I can flick it. You see, it don't hurt my fingers. Some people might think this is a little bit slick, but I like it. It's slick one way, but it still has some grippiness to it, and it's flat. It's going to carry very well. Let's see if it's double-sided. Yes, I think you can. Yes, you can swip the. Yeah, this would be a right or left-hand type knife for somebody because you can flip it right hand or you can flip it left hand. I don't know how good I'm going to be on left hand flip. Oh, I'm running so shit. Hey, you're not supposed to say bad word. I said bad word again. Bad word, bad word. Okay, get out there and quit hitting this, you idiot. I'll get back to that comment. No, you're not going to impress anybody with that, but you would be able to get out. Ooh, tried to bite my finger on the way. Yeah. I felt it. It's a little kiss. It said, look, you can be stupid. I'm going to get you. Pepper Dingo says, Williams Life. Does this cancel out the entry that we entered 2 weeks ago? Oh, man. Did I do one 2 weeks ago? Did I really? I forgot. That's right when this stuff hit. Like I said, normally I would sit there and say, well, if it doesn't offend you, anybody, we can keep it like that. Just go, thank you, Pepper Tingo, for reminding me. I didn't follow any news. I was on something, and it's not chemicals. I was on this quest to figure out my brain lock. All these traps that I set are things that I set in my head, Dons. It's like if you put a challenge lock for yourself, and you threw away the key, but you know how to pick it, but you threw away your picks, and you just locked yourself up into this stuff. That's what happened. So if we already have one out with a magic word that's already out there, then we'll stick with that, all right? Because we haven't done one yet, all right? We'll just go with that. I'll have to get somebody else to verify for that. Yeah. Don, some people may consider me smart in some things. I tell you what, I don't care how smart you are. I guarantee you there's something you don't know about, And if you ever run into somebody that says they know it all, they just prove to you they're an idiot. You know, because the more you learn, the more you learn that you don't know half of what you thought you knew. Oh, it was big belly knives? Okay, thank you. Yeah, let's just go with that. Ignore all that other stuff. So this is what we'll do for everybody. If you're wondering where the magic word is and everything, go to the video called Big Belly Knives, all right? And follow the magic word that's dropped in there. Drop that in the comment. And then tomorrow, we'll do a live drawing of it. Okay? That'll work. Because I was going to do it like this and leave it like this and then basically say, well, I would have showed you. So the Big Belly Knives, I was talking about doing the giveaway on the canoe. Well, that's all the stuff that's going along with the canoe. All right, so it wasn't a total waste. Good. I'm glad we got that figured out. All right, let's keep going with the Byron stuff here. We will give him his recognition that he so rightly deserves. And I can say everything on here. Blades, sharps, slices, and friends. Splitting slices. I had to ask him this before. I said, what is this? YTC, EST, 2024, BTK. Is this bind, torture, kill? And then we got I think that's a seal. And he's got an ulu. And he's cutting up everything. I thought it was like slices a piece of beef. He's going to have a little drinky afterwards. You're going to get one of these. He sent me several of these. So every giveaway, I'm going to include those until I run out. And then I'll say, hey, if you want more of those to go out to people, send me another batch of stickers. So he sent me a lot of them. These one. We'll save that. We'll put them in the giveaway. We'll get him to the end of the box here. Okay. And then we can just chat and have a good time and catch up on things. I will take questions. Oh, I'm going to use this too, because guess what? I'm always losing the second key to my scooter. The one that's lost right now has got a little skull on it. And I have one that's naked, so I need this because even blind, I can usually see that. So I'm going to use that for my only key left. And then he put this in here also. This goes with that family. Osanian Hardware. And it's a Case Family Reunion. They do these things where if you go there, they have special knives and special stuff to give away. That was in the books. Oh, this will make a nice kitty box for my girl. Let's see what she's doing down here. She's stretching. She fell off of her thing. I was trying to give her this as an alternate box. She can fit in that, but she needs a bigger one. She's outgrowing that, so we take these. We can leave the little paper in there, too. Tonight, she's been afraid to go outside, so I was going to take her outside, and I had a poncho on because it's about to rain, and I had her in my hands, and she jumped out because she was kind of freaking out, so she jumped on the top landing. And I had my special retriever toy, you know, the little mouse, so I wasn't afraid. But a storm was coming up, so I really didn't want her to run away and have to hide. And then I basically took her out there and let her re-sniff the area and everything. I wanted her to be able to, where I can carry her, you know, and drop her off and let her do her thing outside if she needs to. And then, see, she's sacked out. Because I exercise her a lot, don't I? You get exercise playing kitty games. Come on, it's your time for YouTube. You can show up. You can be a star. You can be a YouTube star. You want to be a star? She says, no, I just want to be a kitty. Yeah, she's great, man. She's with me 24 hours, you know, 24/7. And she's a great kitten. And Stripey, he's authorized also. He's an indoor-outdoor cat. Today I got a reflective collar for him. Tomorrow I'm going to make his little tag. And I could use help on suggestions on that also. BTK Killer, she's so cute holding her. Oh yeah, she's got a little fish. If I give her fish, it's kind of like her little security blanket. Because she'll cuddle with that and she'll be able to kick it and everything else. So I usually give that to her. But yeah, that's why when I'm playing music and stuff, cats' hearings they have a higher frequency range than mine. And so what I do is because of the Wi-Fi, I can play music downstairs, and I can select any genre that you like. And when it sounds like it's loud in here, it's not loud out there. But she's a little kitten, you know. And if it's got rock with high guitar notes and stuff, I mean, I don't want to give her tinnitus and stuff. So I usually turn it down just for her sake, and I'll even turn it off. Like when she got outside, on the inside I had Tool playing, and the song was Pot, and I had it turned up, and I had to turn it off because I wanted her to be able to come back to her sanctuary, and she's not going to be able to come back to her sanctuary with that going on. But anyways, I'm gonna take a sip here and get caught up with the. I don't see. Oh, I can see it. Um, okay, so uh, one of the things that happened, you know, from me switching is I talk to people. Um, of all the things that, if you could think of me here, I'm the unofficial animal control. Okay, I don't care what you're doing unless it's like harming somebody else. I'm not the local police. I'm not getting paid for anything. I'm not security. You know, all I care about is the animal situation. And as far as that goes, the only thing that's really that I'm watching around here for is uh, fertile female cats or pregnant female cats. Tomcats could be somebody else's, you know, coming from somebody else's pet, coming from another neighborhood. I'm not going to trap that. And if they do come over and they still have their Tomcat abilities, well, that's where old Scrappy Boy comes in. And he will scrap with them. And he's authorized to scrap with any cat, any male Tomcat that comes in here, including Shadow. And if Shadow gets damaged and he recognizes me again, I'll patch him up. But he's going to have to learn this is Scrappy's territory. He's an indoor outdoor cat. I told people he's not my cat. I'm his human. You can be friends with him all you want. Uh, he comes and goes as he like. He picked me as his human, all right? If he picks you later on, I've got little girl here, you know? I've got my, he saved my life. Scrappy saved my life because not that I was going to do anything. It's just he brought joy back into my life. Oh, thank you, Dons. He brought joy back into my life. I was at a point where nothing, absolutely nothing was giving me joy. I couldn't have any fun with ham radios or walkie-talkies, flashlights, knives, none of that stuff. It was just like, I've been there, done that. What's the use? You know, it's a combination of world events going on, internal stress, but the main thing was, like I said, keeping secrets. And I also want you to know that that doesn't mean I've released all secrets. If you've ever told me anything in confidence, it's going to stay in confidence. If you trust me with your mailing address, I'm not going to drop your mail. I can prove that I can keep secrets. But when I was releasing that, what I wanted to let you know is, if you want to remain anonymous, you can remain anonymous on everything. Somebody sent me some money through PayPal recently. I know who he is. I'm not going to drop his name unless he approves it, and I will do that way. You're going to remain anonymous unless you tell me otherwise. That's going to be my default, and I can keep secrets and not reveal them. And I said that before, and I still honor that. I have people. When I was, my sisters told me we have people from both sides of the Civil War. All right. And the way I do my channel, I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what sexual orientation you are. Uh, I accept you as a person, whatever you are. And I don't hold any grudges. Uh, I don't hate anything. I got rid of even the only person I actually hated was my brother-in-law. And when I came in to the family gathering, he goes, uh, "Hey, long time no see." And I thought, man, right here, I could either let him have it or I can resolve it. And I thought, man, if you're resolving everything else and you're still going to keep this 13-year-old grudge, then you have no right to tell your sisters that they need to talk to each other because you can't talk to your brother-in-law. And I did that. And it's not just to hold my sisters accountable that they've got to eventually talk to each other or try to. It's just that I can now say that, look, I made I made up with a brother-in-law who's not blood relation at all. You two are sisters. You've got all these years together. Mom put this on me. I'm not going to let you remain where you sit there and say, I have no sister or I don't talk to my sister. I understand it can take time. I'm not pushing, but the thing is, that's going to be my goal. That's always been. I'm the middle child, you know. I always try to resolve situations. I try to see both sides. I'm not going to blame either one. I've been bad also, you know. I understand what it's like. Um, but anyways, yes, thank you, Dons. I'm going to reply to that. The time to reply to super chat has expired. I'm sorry. Well, it'll still let me put a thumbs up for it. But yeah, so what I'm going to do from now on is I'm gonna start having more live streams. Look what we've ran into. Stupid thing. Sorry, let me get back this screen here and cause it to stop shaking. There we go. All right. So we've been on for an hour. We can go on for more if you'd like. Uh, this I've accomplished mainly what I wanted to say, which is thank you everyone who's donated to me before, who just listened to me before when I was ranting and raving, and who put up with me through all of this, because I am a changed person now. I am not afraid. I'm not showing you my face just because it can freak some people out about missing teeth or damaged teeth and stuff. When I get that fixed, I'll do a reverse, you know, if you want to. But I think people came here more to look at the knives and other stuff than to look at my ugly mug, you know. And I don't want to subject you to that. If it comes out to popular demand, yeah, but I'm more comfortable. This is the way I pick locks. This is the way I've done stuff. It's always, you know, you can see the hands, you know, but the face, I was always had a hang up. Now I don't have a hang up, you know. The way I look at it is just because people are missing teeth doesn't mean they're stupid hicks, all right? I'm smarter than most stupid hicks. I'm missing teeth. You know what causes people to lose teeth? Besides doing substances that destroy your enamel, poverty, not having money to go to a dentist. All right? And that's not excuses because, again, I could have afforded to fix my teeth if I had my priorities right. I've got an issue with priorities and secrets, and trusting people and everything else. And I'm working on it. It's going away. I'm actually uh, hello, Swamp Stomper. Another one is great. I like chatting back and forth with people. I can't do it with unless it's live. You know, I can try to do reply on stuff, but I mean this is going to be really good. And the way I got it, I was talking to the downstairs neighbor, and you know I was open up about everything, and she said, "Well, I've got Wi-Fi." I said, "Yeah, but I use a lot of data. I mean, I'm using my cell phone data. I'm go through 100 gigabytes, no problem, because I do everything on the cell phone." And she said, "Oh, I'll give you my password. All I use it for is just to watch my shows. Occasionally." I go, "Really?" I said, "You don't know how much this is going to improve my life. As a matter of fact, I can't even run a phone that doesn't have a SIM card." You know, I just found out. I've got a third phone that I can update stuff with a Wi-Fi. I can do so much stuff. I mean, uploads and everything else. It just kept snowballing. I by talking to her, she also let me know about emotional support animals. So all along, I didn't have to worry about all smuggling these cats and hiding. All along, if I would have known I was eligible for emotional support animal, no more $400, no more $30 a month. Boom. Problem solved. I could have adopted Buddy. I could have adopted Shadow. When it came to Scrappy, it was like, look, dude, three others have tried to tell you we want you to be our human, and you just turned your nose up at us. What's the issue? We're not good enough for you? It's like, no, man, it's money. I can't afford it. Actually, I can't afford it. If something is that important. Like I said, even if it was going to cost $400, I already have some money put aside in the office as a money order. She said, I'm just going to hold it here until you get $400. You want me to keep it, or you want you to keep it? And I said, you keep it, because it's like a savings account. When I get that $400, boom, I'm going to go through the whole process and make him a cat, of mine. And because she talked about that, now I can declare both of them as an emotional support animal. So Scrappy's got free. Let me read this here. Keep up with the chats here. Uh, so I'll go from Swamp Stomper. Late night with Wim, cool. Uh, you'll see me at any time nowadays. Now that I can do this, if I got insomnia, I'm gonna come up out here and just chat with you guys. I'm loving your bench and wall stuff. It looks like mine. Yeah, see, this is the last. This is the last area for me to straighten up. I'm working on everything in the house. I'm cleaning up the floor. Mainly for the kitty, not for me. You have a lovely neighbor. That's the kind. Yes, and the thing is also, I'm on the second floor apartment. There's an apartment straight across from me. There's one over there, and then you walk over there. There's one here. I know everyone. I know every one of those people's names. I'm learning, some of the ones over there, but I know this man and woman's name, and they know that as much as I need to make public to them, that I also smoke. They're all cool with that. I know these people over here. I don't know their name, but I've talked to both of them, and I've talked to this family over here. All right, downstairs, it's a Hispanic group of two guys, brothers. I met this guy when I first came through here. One guy, I won't say his name, but he was puffing on the back balcony, and I just kept walking by, but I could smell herb. And as I kept walking by, he kept trying to talk to me, and I walked to him and I said, "Man, this is really not a 420 friendly environment." As a matter of fact, the manager and the assistant manager are out right now because they're doing room inspections, or for some reason, once a year they've got to make sure nothing's being destroyed or something. And he said, "Boy, first I had on a T-shirt that said Looney Tunes, and he thought it was Cheech and Chong. And I said, 'Oh yeah, I love Cheech and Chong.' Well, he asked me if I wanted to hit it, and I hadn't smoked in a week. I'd overcome, the cravings or whatever, and I was fine with not smoking. But it's kind of nice to meet another, a fellow smoker. So I took a hit, and then I kept walking, a little bit, and I'd come back, and he'd talk to me some more, and I'd take another hit. But I told him, I said, "Man, dude, I'm telling you, this is not a good time. It's not a good place to be doing this." And he was sitting there, and I wasn't hitting anymore, but I was talking to him. And I assumed, since he was facing me, he was watching my back, because I was watching the other side. And the assistant manager walks right up, and she's black, and she goes, "Ah, hell no. You ain't doing what I think you're doing." But she knows exactly what he's doing, because she's probably done it herself. And I'm sitting there trying. I didn't have it in my hand, but I'm trying to act like, "Hey, I don't know what's going on. I'm old. I just walked up. I'm just trying to be friendly." I didn't say any of that. And she says, "You're about to catch a violation." A violation is like a $50 fine for violating something. And if they do it enough, they can kick you out. So it was serious. And then she tells me, "We're ready to inspect your apartment now if you're ready." So already I'm nervous. I just uh, lucked my way out of that one. Guess who's upstairs in the apartment right then? And I don't have any time to clear it if she's going to follow me. Shadow. Shadow's in the apartment. I think I'm smuggling a cat in there, and they're about to do a room inspection. Building a room inspection. I'm like, oh crap! Out of the frying pan into the fryer. Okay, she follows me up. I go, crap. I don't see Shadow anywhere. It's before you, little girl. I don't see Shadow anywhere, and I'm I walk in and I stand right behind that recliner, a Shadow laying there, and she did not come through that door. She stood at that door, and I bluffed my way out. I was thinking, Shadow, he normally panics if he hears another voice or anything like that. I said, "Shadow, please do not." Yeah, it's not a random inspection. They announced it. They gave us like a week to prepare for it and everything. It's just that it happened to occur at a time when I meant to go up here and let him out before the inspection came, but the guy stopped me, and I couldn't pass that up. But anyways, I got through that. He didn't run out on the balcony or anything, and she asked me these questions, and like if there's anything wrong with the building. This was like if you got any maintenance issues or anything like that. And what they're really supposed to do, I think they're required by, I think this one was being bought out by another uh, apartment complex manager and stuff, affiliate group or whatever. But this last time when they came in, they went in and they checked everything, every light switch. They looked at stuff, and that's when it was all, you know, boxes were in the way and it was all just packed up in here. And I was of the attitude, they were mentioning, well, maybe you should get a storage unit, and like that costs money. She said it out loud. Well, that costs money. And I passed it, and I overheard them say, well, some people like to live that way, as long as there's no smells, and no complaints. And they didn't know I was listening. There's not really much we can do about it. He pays his rent on time, and we have no issue. Oh, she's climbing up. Here we go. You can climb up in the lap, girl. Here's a lap, kitty. You can sit here. You can be part of the live stream if you want. You already are. You're famous. You're internet famous. It's a YouTube kitty. But I'm gonna try to get her used to being comfortable. Pretty much anywhere with me. Like eventually maybe riding if I want to take her somewhere. I mean, she'd be all right staying here, but uh, you know, we both need emotional support. She lost her entire family and her mother. I took her mother, and she's an orphan. Poor kitty, but she's got a functioning per motor. I checked that out. So yeah, again, there are MAGA people that I know that are very nice people, and I just wanted to let you know that not all MAGA is bad, and a lot of them were just conned, were just deluded into it, played, and those people, if they recognize it eventually, or if they already know it, I don't hold any grudges. Again, I'm not against you. I'm against fascism. I'm against totalitarian regimes. All right, it has nothing against you unless you still believe in that. If you still support him and you still want to follow in that little playbook, then I'm still not gonna hate you, but I will resist. All right, and I will not dox you. I will not call you out. I'm not gonna do that. That's not on me. Um, like I said, I'm I'm completely changed. I'm more friendly. I'm just trying to find ways to help people and not to hurt them. I don't want to rat people out. Like if I smell something and I'm going by, I'm not going to tell anybody. I don't care what you do with your life, and I want people to let them know that if we're down here playing country and western music, that's why I changed it to any kind of music. Is that it's not a redneck enclave or whatever, even though that would be perfectly fine. It's just that different people like different types of music. And I'm the type that I can switch to any type of music, even music where I don't know the language. If I'm in the Latino section, I'll play Santana or something like that. And do I have a probable time for tomorrow's live? What would you like? Anytime in the afternoon, whatever's good for y'all. I mean, for me, look, I think I'm over it, but I have insomnia, so I'm always up. Let's just put it that way, or I can be. Usually, what I try to do is I try to go to sleep um, by if when I was worried about the cat schedule. But I usually go to sleep by about midnight, maybe 1 o'clock, unless I'm still up watching or doing something. But then at three a.m., Bounty Tank comes on. There's a live streamer that plays Arc Raiders that I like to watch. Uh, Sometimes that just keeps me going. I don't go to sleep. I just go from that to awake, and then usually I would take a nap sometime during the day. But when I was working this whole issue out and everything, Man, I'll tell you, it was 17 days of straight, and it couldn't have been 1 hour of sleep every night, or that'd have been 17 hours. I don't know how people, yeah, early afternoon, that sounds good. I don't want to stomp on, I know Tobias does something, uh, and there used to be somebody else that does something. I can easily work with them on the time, and the schedule. But also, I'm not gonna intentionally stomp on someone's regularly scheduled time. But then again, there's a lot of knife and YouTube channels. Sorry, I'm just tightening this thing up. There are a lot of knife and YouTube channels out there, and let's say, for example, Big Red EDC comes on, and you like to join the beginning and say hi to everybody. And I've got one that's going on right now, or at the same time, but mine's going to end, within 10 or 30 minutes from that time. I don't mind if you watch mine and go to his, or if you watch his and then stay on mine, or you don't even watch mine at all, But if you want to go there and you normally 2:23 p.m. here my morning. All right. This is the time here. It is 21:15 hours or 9:15 for p.m. Or this is Central Time. Um, Don's a really good friend, man. He's one of those guys that I don't want to give it away, but uh, shipping to Australia is expensive. I mean, easily the shipping costs could way exceed the price of the stuff that you've got. And over there, if you're into lock picking and stuff, there's a certain brand of lock called Lockwood. It used to be in America, and then it relocated to Australia. Getting one of those is damn near impossible. Um, Paul Springett sent me some locks from there. Don sent me some locks from there. There was a guy called Shua L sent me some locks from there. I sent locks back sometimes, easily $100 in shipping, and it takes forever. Uh, so that kind of guy. The lock sport community is the type that if they find out that you're learning and you can't afford it and everything, they'll either teach you how to make your own picks or they'll send you some. Um, and it's a really tight knit community, really generous. You hardly ever run into any trolls because I've got 1,000 videos on that channel. It's the first one that I started. I'm still at 800 and something subscribers, and it's one of those things. It's just gonna. I think it's gonna grow. I think I'm gonna hit 1,000 on it relatively soon. But the only thing it's going to give me is another source of passive income. Like I've got this one here. If that one is monetized, then I would be able to make a little bit of money off that. But I would be able to combine the two so that maybe I get paid each month. You've got to get over $100 in your YouTube ad account or whatever your AdSense account, or they won't even cut you a check. So it's been averaging every other month I get money. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. That comes in very handy. But if I had two of them going on, then boom, I've got two sources of income. It's pretty easy. I wouldn't have to do anything. I could just, if I had an illness or whatever, I could still no more RJ's like, what happened to those? What happened? They used to do that on Sunday. We'd watch it. I remember I wouldn't always. One time I joined it live, but I didn't know that. See, I've been out of a lot of this. All right, let me see what Don said right before that. Thank you, William. Whatever you want, I'll send it back with my son who's visiting us from the VA at the moment. Okie dokie. Yeah, see? Now, if you're overseas and you want to participate in this, but you have a way of getting the stuff to you, Don's, then you can enter in this one. You can enter in this one, and if you win, it'll get to you. It's just as long as, I don't have the money to send it as far as shipping. Maybe I do. I don't know. It's not locks. Locks weigh a lot, and it's based on weight on shipping. So that might be possible also. But it's the same way with, I think I've got a friend that's over in the Philippines or somewhere like that. And he has someone that will ship for him. it's open to him too. It's like I said, as long as I can send the stuff to a lower 48 address, I don't care if you're overseas or, on the moon. As long as you can get it, I don't care. Uh, but that means that you can also participate in those. But for those people that can't do that, that don't have somebody, in December, I'm going to do that international. And again, you can enter in that one too. If you win in one, it doesn't exclude you from another one. If you won one giveaway before, you can enter again. It doesn't matter. I've had repeat winners. So yeah, let me check the chat and rehydrate a little bit here and blow some smoke. Yeah, cool stuff. Now, see if it's gonna take too long and you'd like to get it. That's a different story. I'll find out how much, because I can do it without actually paying for it. I can find out how much it would cost. I know how much it's gonna weigh when I get it packaged up. I got a scale, and I'll just see how much it is. Because really, Don's, I mean, for as much as you've done for the community, the lock community and everything, uh, coming up with shipping for this is nothing. But the problem is knives and local regulations. I'm sure a lot of these are not legal uh, to carry around, and even just getting it to your place, the customs would sit there and confiscate it probably, and it would be a waste. Um, but either way, we either do cash or we do that like that. All right, so let me look at this. All right, let me find something here. You will pardon me for a second. I'm gonna stay on for a while, man. Like I said, until you guys get tired of it, or until I get tired. Um, but right now, it's just we've got all the necessary stuff done. Oh yeah, that's just nicotine, right? This is a vape. Sure. Nothing illegal going on here, officer. The cat did it. All right, so yeah, I seem to have survived my ordeal. I'm recovering from the physical damage. That's where I closed the kickstand on my finger. Usually I use my foot, but it closed on that and gave me a good blood pinch. This guy's healing up. I don't know what it was, but it was open and split pretty deep down to the draw blood side. So anytime I bumped it, it would open up. Uh, this is going down, whatever that was, that kind of infection. My body's starting to heal. I got some more damage over here. There's some dehydration cracks and stuff, and uh, the right hand seemed to survive because most of the time when I'm falling, I put my left hand out. Uh, yeah, I subjected myself to falls. Good thing I can tell you right now is I probably don't have osteoporosis or whatever, because if I was going to break a bone or a hip, it would have been on this ordeal. And again, I want to thank everyone, not just the people that contribute, and send things, but I never thought there would be 2,000 people that would be interested in knives. It's like 2,700. I'm going to do something at 3,000 too, a special giveaway, just whenever it gets. I'm not pushing for numbers or anything. It's just like recognition that, hey, 3,000 people took the time to sit there and hit the subscribe button. That means a lot to me. I get a lot of viewers and stuff, and I understand that not everybody wants to subscribe to stuff, especially, when you subscribe to someone, they start throwing stuff into your feed from them, and I've been all over the place, man. It's not just knives. I mean, it's scatterbrain what I come up with. Well, this thing's not scrolling. Oh, there's a BDH. Hello. Glad you're back. Well, I'm glad to be back. BDH, really. Um, like I was telling people here, I've gone through something. You can look at the last video to see what I went through. But on the end of it, I'm a changed person, man. I don't have anxiety. I don't have any secrets. Like one of the reasons I wasn't doing live stream is because my teeth had deteriorated. I'm going to get that fixed. If I have to carve my own, wooden teeth. I'm gonna get it fixed. It's no big deal. I really don't do it mainly out of courtesy to other people, because I've seen people when they smile and missing teeth, and sometimes it's kind of rough to take if you're expecting a full set of teeth. And me, it doesn't bother me. You either lost them because of a fight or tooth decay or whatever. I don't know, and it's none of my business. If you're comfortable enough to smile with missing teeth, then why should I feel uncomfortable? That's something I've got to work on, not you. You know. And 4:30 a.m. here. Hey, Klaus, how's it going? Just came out of bed, up out of bed. Well, because of the way I do, I'm gonna find people that are on different time zones and locally, and just check it whenever if you want to chat and stuff. Because I want to say right now that because I'm opened up on everything, there's a lot of stuff I can talk about from experience. I want to show you some of this. We'll go through this entire thing if we want, if we have to. I kept this secret for 50 years. No one but me and my ex-wife, who was I also met in ECM in Barksdale. That's where I met her. We became husband and wife. If I would have just read, this is general information. It's describing, the transmitters and stuff. But um, here, if this would have been classified, up here would have been some classification. Down here would have been some classification on every page if it was secret. But let's see, these pages kind of stick together. The reason why is I made this book. I've been dropping it and carrying it around, but I made this binder. See, I put ECM on the side because the way it was found was like this loose, right? Not even connected together, just stacked together. And they were stacked together for destruction. Not because they were classified, but because they were outdated. That's it. That's it. They were outdated. Here's the table of contents. We'll look at this, later on, but I just want to give you some ideas. These are things. Now, it starts off with, there's a whole section on the B-52, the oldest one. D, no, C, D, E, C, D, E, F. And then we don't have the H models, which are the current models and the only models of B-52 that are flying. No, I did not only work on B-52s in SAC. I worked on F-4D Phantoms in Korea, and they have their own pod. And I worked on A-10 Warthogs in England. All right, so this is all the stuff that I worked on. This is what the Air Force taught me was electronics first, and then how to fix and repair all these. And what this thing is every time you went out to work on the aircraft, see, this one's for the B-52C. So it's the earliest one. Yeah, the B-52s were old when we were working on them. And that was 50 years ago. So the C model had some older stuff, like the APR-14. We went up with a higher number than that. We still had this. I worked on that one in the shop and on the field. That was one of the main ones I worked on. The heavies in here, the flare ejectors. We worked on all this stuff. QRC modulator, that became something else. The ALT-22, that's another jamming transmitter that I worked on in the shop. And I worked both flight line and shop. Blanking systems, and then it tells you the list of illustrations. These are cool. These are really cool because this is non-classified, but it's describing exactly what I worked on and in more detail than I could give you from memory. Let me just flip through here and get you past this crap that you don't need to see. There's a lot of stuff in here. It's not classified. It's just equipment location. Let's see, it says ALT-28. Equipment location, cabling diagram, liquid cooling system, test connection for ALT-28, complete checkout bands 4, 10, and 11. All right, see, that's why it's not classified, because it says bands 4, 10, and 11 instead of the actual bands that it covers. Stop bouncing. We're having turbulence. Please stand by. All right, so see all this? I'm not going to show you because I can show you even better stuff in here, and it's not because it's secret. I'm trying to get before general information. It tells me about this thing, why it's not classified. We'll get into general information, but there's one stuck together page, and it's not because of what you think. It's age. We don't like our job that much. Right, comrade. All right, and the reason why I got this, again, was not to divulge this to the Ruskies or anybody else. Your responsibility. We're going to read this thing, but the main thing is right here. This manual, together with those supplements specified in the title page, provided complete organizational flight line maintenance instructions for the electronic warfare systems installed on B-52C through F aircraft. Unclassified material presented in the basic manual may require reference to classified supplemental for specific classified frequencies, tolerances, values, etc. Memorizing these values will enable you to maintain your equipment using only the basic manual as a guide, but never write such values into the basic manual, or the entire manual must then be regarded as classified. I never wrote anything in here. I memorized that stuff and I have forgotten most of it. So this is not classified. All right, you can take a screenshot of this because we got much better stuff right here than this in this. And I can give you specific examples. You can take photographs of this. You can screenshot if anything happens. I'm the person that had it, and I'm not doing it to. Which do you prefer, carbon or stainless? It doesn't matter. I like carbon because you can patina it, but I like the convenience of stainless steel. It's really nice. You can put stainless steel up wet, whereas if you put a carbon steel knife up wet, for whatever reason, or it gets wet because of humidity, you're not only going to have patina, you're going to have corrosion. And sometimes if it gets advanced enough, it can destroy the whole knife. This manual provides maintenance instructions for blah, blah, blah. I'm going to skim through this as I'm reading it. The one essential requirement of any modern manned weapon system is that it be able to penetrate enemy defenses, destroy the designated target, and return to base without prohibitive rate of loss. To accomplish Mr. Master, efficient methods of confusing enemy detection devices are vital. EW receiving and transmitting systems and radar confusion material, chaff. Dispensers, those were a pain in the ass. They were fun, but they were a pain in the ass to load. Designed to perform this task are installed. Figure 1.1 shows a block diagram of the EW equipment. The following paragraphs show normal completion of equipment installed for different aircraft configurations. Aircraft covered by this manual are equipped with receiving sets which inform the crew that the aircraft is being illuminated by radar units. This is accomplished by the AN APR 9, APS 54, and AN APR 14 receiving sets. I think those went up to 25. It'll show you in this, but this is the early model of that one, the earliest. And then you flip through different sections and it's different models. Get back here, I'm reading stuff. Don't interrupt me while I'm reading, comrade. We must make sure this information is transmitted correctly. All right, here. This book is heavy. I don't know why I'm holding this like this. Why don't we change camera instead of holding up with hands? There you go. Use your brain for something other than a hat. Okay, I think we got enough light here. We may be able to read this. Here we go. Oh, this is much better. All right. You can look at all this, and read it at your leisure. I'm running out of... my voice is getting dry, but we must get some illustrations here. And here we have block diagram. Now, see, this is enough for us to... all of this information here is enough for us to troubleshoot the aircraft if we know if we know what frequency we're on, because we do have to tune them to the right frequencies. Sometimes they were out of band, or the bandwidth wasn't wide enough, or the amplitude wasn't high enough, or if we had modulation there. We could we could uh, we could understand all of that by looking at this. This is like a giant spectrum analyzer that you can each trace is a band. It has a it's just a like a old school CRT, and if you want to hear what's on that particular band, you could turn it down to a dot, turn it in there, plug in your headsets, and you could hear what was being, whether that was information. See, we could even jam air traffic control approach radars and stuff like that. We had to be really careful that we weren't screwing up our own base in the process of checking out our equipment. And yes, you should use dummy loads on transmitters so that you're not transmitting in the open. I can tell you from experience that that rarely, if ever, happened. Only when we were going through. You rip pages, you drop things, you dumb guy. Let me set this up a little bit better, because we seem to be going through this even though I said I wasn't. But there's no problem. It'll be something interesting for those of you that stayed this long or in another time zone. We'll take breaks occasionally for refilling vodka. This is not vodka, but Boris says it is. And Boris is going to be in here sometimes. He says it's for cultural exchange reasons, but I think he's spying. He's trying to spy on something that he... Go ahead, Boris. Knock yourself out. We'll act like we don't know you. Alright. Now we had that. That's just basically showing you that for each different frequency, there are antennas. We had to fix all this stuff. If it was the antenna, we had to fix it. If it was the waveguide or the coax cable, we had to fix it. All that came into... All those antennas came into receiver control. This is receiver control. I control everything. Over here you have a power supply that was up in the aircraft in the pressurized compartment. So you could repair that. These were all over the plane. Because it's, this is your jammer control right here. You can jam everything with that. Alright, it gets much better than block diagram descriptions in this thing. That's why I thought, man, there's no way this thing can be non-classified. It's showing you everything, but then you got to realize, this was after Vietnam. They shot down B-52D models and for sure got some of this stuff intact. So, you're not divulging anything that's a secret. They already have it. But, when we were in ECM, even if we saw something that was completely accurate in an open source like Jane's or anything else, and someone said, what about that? Our response would have to be, I can neither confirm nor deny that, because we can't acknowledge that they're accurate. We can't acknowledge that they're inaccurate. We can just say, hey, if you hear somebody saying that, then they're probably dead on with what's being discussed. Alright, this is just the cooling system. In the nose is for cooling those. This ram air on the side for the transmitters in the back. There's more that come in through here and way back in the tail. We'll just go with the pictures. They're easier to, you know, but here's wiring diagram and this cautions. Let's read these cautions here. If equipment is not installed in a transmitter position and airflow is not blocked by a dummy box, the flight crew should be notified. Flight at indicated airspeed greater than 300 knots may result in damage to the ducting or the shrouds. So yeah, they were designed to have something stopping this from just shooting jet stream air into there, you know. You had to put a little block. We had all that crap. And general maintenance, you know, we're sergeants, so we don't need to, that doesn't apply to us. We're enlisted, not generals. All right, so here, it shows you symbols. Oh, this is a coil. I just hit the ground with, I'm going to help my neighbors by putting some rubber some carpeting or something down here because I'm always dropping shit. This is what an amplifier looks like. These are your connectors. This is a crystal. See, I used to know all of this crap, all right? And I probably could have made a good repairman or something, but a lot of times when you're working flight line, you're pulling boxes. You're doing it's not usually like component level repair. We have to fix wiring. You know, you'll have to go down to that where somebody grabbed hold of a wire to pull themselves up and happened to be some of your stuff and it's 50 years old and it's brittle. You got to find breaks in wiring throughout that aircraft, you know, and that's where, if it's a coax, we had one of those things where it could tell us in feet how far away the break was. But if it was a straight line wire, man, you just had to go through old school, find the break in the wire, and it's not easy on a B-52. All right, so these are just general, you know, symbols and, you know, how to read a vacuum tubes. Yes, we had those triodes. We learned vacuum tube electronics also because some of our stuff was that ancient, and then we also learned digital. So you had to learn everything about this stuff, and I forgot lots of it, man. I really did. I forgot lots of it. Okay, this is the way. This is the way it's identified in aircraft. They're all white wires. They're not any other color. This is the way you identify it. You know, each one does a certain thing. So you'd have to interpret, you know, that based upon circuit identification code, radar, you know, special electronics, ECM receiver, TR, ECM transmitter, TT. We had to look for that in the wire. If it said TR and TT, that was us. Not a radar control. See, we're under special. We're not under radar. We were special. We had black boxes. We were the black box people. Radio, nope. None of that. Armament, nope, nope. Nope, nope. Landing gear, nope, nope, nope. AC power unit, nope, 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 nope. Armament, no. This was us for wiring. All right? And that's what you get to look at. There's nothing but white wires with this. I mean, they're very legible, and it's repeated every so often. So even if this was smeared off or broken or shot through, you could replace it. All right, we start getting to the good stuff here. I'm standing up, and I'm trying to figure this out. So let me see if I can get a better angle to sit down. Because, I'm old and I'm damaged. Brain damage. Oh, let me tell you something else, Dons, while you're still up. This is the TID Radio H3 with Bluetooth. Man, with YouTube, you can have this as your speaker. You just turn it on, put it in Bluetooth, and have it recognize the device, and then this is your little jam box. Besides, that's pretty cool. I use that for that. There went phone. And heat things. What time is it here? Let's see if I wake anybody up. Oh, I should be watching this dropping stuff. I'm gonna put a mat down there. Something to cushion that. Stand by, please. 1 moment, please. There, we'll move this back here. It will stop some banging. What is already landed down here? Let me check. We drop a knife and it halfway open. That's good. That I didn't lose it at all. We dropped a little flashlight. There you go over there. A baggie. No, we don't need baggie. I'm gonna have to pick up the table. So, oh man, this sucker's heavy with all these knives. Oh, it's a good way to get disc. No, we don't do that. It's bad. It's bad. We know he needs hernia. Sorry, little girl, I bumped you. I'm sorry. She's stretched out a half on her scratching post. All right, let's just stand up like this. What's wrong with me? Let's just stand up, you wuss. Put blade back in pocket. You don't have a problem. This is what I was carrying earlier, just to be carrying it. I had gotten it recently, and I rarely carry it, but it's pretty nice. It's a nice knife. I don't remember the name of it. It'll come to me. But it has a nice spooler. Yes, you can flick. You can flick this one. Oh, I don't know if I should try without damage. Oh, look at that. I got it. Go Spidey flick it. This is kind of odd here. You kind of come back, you know, so it's this extra little hand guard. But once you get on it, I mean, it comes out solidly. And then you can do these. Like that. You can get back there. Don't hurt nobody. All right, so there we go. What does it say here? I want to read this stuff. Gonna catch up on. Which you prefer? Okay, we got that. Don't trust Boris. Oh, come on, he's all right. He is a U.S. citizen now. He has a green card. Be assured the Risky own the same book. Exactly. I'm sure they got the exact same book because it was not classified. People could have, you know, that were really spying, could have gotten it to them easily without suffering, you know, the whole spying, you're taking shit, you know, that doesn't belong to you. Back in the early 90s, I worked near McGuire Air Force Base in New Jersey, and they did refueling training for B-52s all day long. The earth shook with their coming. That was my base of exit when I got from overseas. Was McGuire. That's where I got out of the Air Force. That's when I saw New York. I was flying over it. First time I saw New York City was on the airplane, and it flew past the Statue of Liberty, and a lot of people were wanting to go, you know, because everybody was getting out. A lot of people wanted to go visit New York City. I said, no, I'll stay on base. I'll chill. I've seen enough of it from the air because I was being separated. I was under an honorable discharge, but I was caught with hashish, and I lost my security clearance. I was put on base cleanup detail for a month. They said that I could stay in, but I knew I was going to be a black sheep of the squadron and a known, you know, hashish, known drug user, probably an assassin. That's what they use that stuff for. And I said, you know what? If y'all give me an honorable discharge, I'll leave right now, whenever you're convenient with you. If you will give me a dishonorable discharge, I'll stay in. I'll put up with whatever punishment. I'll have to prove myself as a good boy. But you know, I've been a sergeant. I had nothing bad on my record. It was just that we had been playing Dungeons and Dragons, and one of the guys in ECM came over. It was on a weekend. I was in the living room. Had a homemade pipe. The reason why I was doing hash is that was all available. I would have just done regular weed, but it was easier to get hash than regular weed in England. And that's because people would smuggle it over. People in the service would smuggle it over and not declare it. And even if they did search, they weren't really looking for that. It was a pretty good smuggling operation. But when I got found out, we can go through that some other time, but I did get an honorable discharge. And even my sister thought I had a dishonorable discharge. She said, you know, I'd like to help you and stuff, but there's only so much we can do for someone with a dishonorable discharge. And I said, this is no secret. My older sister's name is Diana, and I said, Diana, if you get a dishonorable discharge, it's the same as being a convicted felon. You can't vote. You can't have a gun. I was not going to put up with that. I was not going to endure that, you know, just because I like to get high a different way than drinking alcohol, you know. And I didn't divulge any secrets. I didn't give anything away, you know. It's just, anyways, that's another thing I kept secret, you know. Because it was overseas, on my DD-214, you know what it says? Misconduct, civil disposition. The only thing they flagged me for was non-select for reenlistment. Normally when you get out of service, you have a certain period of inactive eligibility where if a war is up, they'll call you up and you don't have to go through the draft process or basic training or whatever. Boom, for a certain amount of time, you have to be inactive reserves, I think is what it's called. I was eliminated from that because they didn't want me back, you know. I never told. I always figured that an employee would know that I had smoked or something, so I had to keep that secret, even though it was overseas. And if they looked for the records, they wouldn't. Even when looking at my 214, they wouldn't be able to figure it out. And if they asked, I could have made something up. I got into a bar fight. I did spend one weekend in an overseas jail. It wasn't a prison. It was a British jail, and it was interesting. I mean, I was expecting a lot. It was different. You know, like when they come up and you expect them to be serving you coffee, it's actually tea with milk in it. And then it's like, whoa. Of all the things to throw milk in, I've never thought of putting it in tea. Coffee, yeah, but it's different, you know. And I was busted with in uniform, but I had the GI sweater, you know, that's like an anorak. It doesn't unzip and it covers all your rank and insignia. That was on over and top of me, so I got along fine with everybody in there. There was no issue. I didn't get raped. The only thing that ever happened is, you know, when you go into prison, you have to strip, bend over, and spread your cheeks to make sure you're not smuggling anything up your prison pocket, which I wasn't doing. Um, so yeah, that was something different. Oh man, this. Let me show you something. We'll pause. I'm not going to pause thing, but I gotta go get my safety wire pliers. I want to show you those. Sorry, girl. I'm not going to bump into you. No, I'm not going to bump into you. That's why I put all these little boxes over here. So I don't bump my kitty. I don't bump my kitty. But I know what this is. That's why I know exactly what it is. These. And I will tell you how I get them. This is one of your main tools. Alright. And what do you use it for? All connectors on aircraft must be safety wired. And this is to prevent them from vibrating loose. Safety wired. Guess what happens if you pull too hard on safety wire on a little hole? It breaks through. Then what do? Well, you either replace the whole connector, or you can put a hose clamp. It was approved to put a radiator hose clamp on them, tighten it down enough, and safety wire to that. These are every connector. I can't stress enough what that means. Every connector, no matter how hard it is to get to it. And they put this stuff in as an afterthought. All right, here we're starting to get into the good stuff. EWS officers station looking aft. It's this is the C model that's talking about AN APR9 receiving system. So this is where all the little receivers are at. But then let's pull this up where we can see it a little bit better. EWS officer station. So these numbers right here apply to this up here, and that's an old one because we had a big screen. So this is for the C model. Let me pull up the D model for a second, show you the difference. I must sit down for this. I'm standing too much. I stand up too much. We're still on the C. It's like half the book is on the C. I don't know if it's gonna. Maybe I'm wrong about this. I only got the C model. Maybe I only got the C model. You know it? I think so. All along, I'm thinking I'm having the TO for all the aircraft. I think I only got the C model in here. It's supposed to be for the D, C, E, and F mods. It says right in here. But you know, when he grabbed it, this was a flight line TO for not even the model we were working on. That's why they were throwing this stuff away. Because if it was a D model, they would go through all these ones right here, change pages. They would just go through and change those. Anything that changed on that rather than do the whole manual. All right, thank you, Tom. I'm going to still go on for a little bit. Thank you for dropping by. I will be on tomorrow, probably late afternoon, whatever Pepper Dingo said, because I'm going to try to get some sleep eventually again tonight. And it's not really sleepy time. I could probably go another hour or two if I wanted to, but we're at an hour 44 right now. I'm not going to cut it off anytime soon because I'm on Wi-Fi, and it's not using up any data and it's working fine. And I'll just keep going, but I may have to take a break here in a second. Just a short break, bathroom break or smoke break or whatever you want to call it. Kitty check. Make sure the kitty's all right. So, we now know what we're dealing with. It's not all, it's just the C models, but I'll try to find the most current looking display because I know they have it in there. So let's take our first temporary, take 5, do what you need to do, talk amongst yourselves or go to the bathroom, get some popcorn, because we're going to be up for a little bit. And then I'll drop back, but I know I've got some good stuff here. Loose pages that are already falling out, I'll just put them up there. And I can always find them again. Oh yeah, here's a heavy. Yes. Alright. I want to see a better EW station than that. What's the C model though? Let's go to table of contents. El table contento. Oh, I love the illustrations. I could probably hear you talking. That's alright. I'll talk to myself all the ANAR 20 receiving system. There it is, 17-1. Come on, let's go. 17-11. Oh, don't tell me I didn't get the whole. There it is, 17 This will be the best one right here because I got a 17. Yes, come on, now. 17. What does it say here? No, what? Low antenna configuration. Yes. Here we go. Yes. We find what I need here. All right. I didn't take a break. I was just looking around. This is a more accurate description of the D model type of display, right? It's not that little round scope. And this is a D model tail gunner section. You got the quad 50 cal. This is a separate pressurized compartment. Guess what? If you've got a female co-worker and you want to do a little hanky-panky, the only way to get to you is a ladder or crawling through the tube. So things like that, just keep in mind. Young airmen and airwomen put together in this hot, sweaty environment where you have to take your top of your shirt off, but you got to have your t-shirt on. And, they're not watching us like a hawk, so we can mess around sometimes. All right, this is in the nose cone of the aircraft. So you pop this up like a little hood. You just take that whole thing off, and you got to have a big ladder. And you've got these things that you have to pull out, and these are your different antennas. What's it say? Right now, it's just showing us the, because we're looking at the ALR 20, it's just showing you the RF tuner, EW front panel, so all these are numbered scimitar antennae. And then it goes through with the illustrations, but it gets better than that. They show the actual boxes of some of this stuff, and I had a loose page out here. Sorry for the earthquake. They show the actual boxes, man. This is a power supply. I can tell you right now, I've worked on it. I could tell you that from a distance because I worked on these in the shop too. It was nitrogen pressurized. They had SCRs. We called them rectifiers that were high voltage. Rectum fryers. This is the control indicator for the ALT6B jammer. You see there's no frequency in there, and there's numbers in here, but this is exactly what we're working on. We'd go into the EW's officer station. They'd have a write-up saying that there's something wrong with the system. We'd fire them up and put them in standby. So this is a power supply for a heavy, an ALT6B. That's a heavy. So a lot of times, because this is heavy, people would yank this during shift change and say, we think it's the control box. They know damn well it's that, but this is a pain in the ass to get to. This is real easy. This is also a pain in the ass. You couldn't just yank that because look at all those. They have to be safety wired. And their location in the aircraft is in the it's when you come up through the hatch, there's the bomb nav compartment and everything. And if you look aft, right up in the upper left-hand corner, there's a place for 2 power supplies. You have to reach in. You can't see it very well. You have to reach in and safety wiring that thing. Oh my God. Replacing it was not bad. You know, it's inaccessible and everything, but safety wiring all those connectors. Oh my God. OMG. You must make room and try not to drop shit during process. Okay. I think we made it. Oh, book wants to fall. See, I'm going to have to level the surface a little bit. And the way we do that is we get up in the appropriate size box. I the big bowl. And we do a real quick cleanup here. We make sure this is down here. And we go like this. Yes, there we go. Everybody in. You're not going anywhere but a box. You're not being thrown away. You're not being discarded. You will not lose you. There. Now we put manual here. Still has a problem. But it will not fall down now. I don't think. Nothing else will fall down. Where were we? Oh shit, you closed the book. Well, let's show some more. See, they got these little old school like photograph type things. But then you get to more detailed block diagrams. What are we looking at on this one? We are looking for we are looking at the AN/APR9 receiving system troubleshooting. Okay, we'll get to that later. We have much better things to do. I must get back to my receiver. I must stay on focus. All right, that was 17.1, and this is 12 change 50. See, this is a change page, so they make it easy to find it when you have. This is one of the things we had to do too. Changes would come in. The senior guy in the shop would designate some of us to go through and pull out the old page and put the new pages in because something has changed. Something has changed always. So he changed July 1st, 1969. Changed March 1st, 1969. Changed 15. We keep going. There's lots of change going on around here. Yes, everything is changing. Change 50, 16, keep going, keep going. Ah, yes, here, page folded. Here, back here. Now we must have room. These things fold out. Imagine the wind and everything else, all types of environment. You're trying to read this. You're trying not to have pages fly off. You must control it. And they're not easy to do. Don't you fall down, phone. I see what you're trying. Cut that out. Alright, let's do it like this. You know, I could just take it apart. Or we could do the old school. I know. Yes, I know that was bad, right? There are things called paper assholes that you can put around here. Basically, paper assholes. But this is all right. You are live. God, I must have gone off and gone back on. It says I'm live. I guess after a certain amount of time it resets itself. Let me check this and make sure everything's still functioning. Or maybe the government has intervened. And I am divulging something and they're saying, wait a minute, we must cut this shit off. Let me get my phone. Let me check and make sure I'm not in violation here. Something happened. Yes, we want to see this. I cannot show this. This would be divulging secret information you do not need to know. Okay, where are we? This is me here, I think. No, don't touch that. Still functioning. Did I go off live or something? Because it said you are live all of a sudden. I said, what? I should have been live all along. And believe me, I've done that before. I've recorded all kinds of things thinking it was live, and I've never pushed the little red button. Look at that, it's doing something. He looks like he's behind. I want to see when he catches up with the live stream on the screen. Yeah, there we go. We are back. Okay. I thought maybe they say, look, comrade, divulging top secret information. Cut the feed now. All right, so this thing right here is like a spectrum analyzer, all right? It's like a spectrum analyzer for radio frequencies. Speak among yourselves. Nothing wrong here. Good, thank you. I'm going to get a radio, not one of these, but another one, and I will show you what I mean about spectrum analyzer. Spectrum analyzer. We need spectrum. Well, this one will work. This one will work. This one will work here. Here. This is very similar to what we did. All right. So let's put it on a police frequency, and if this is the spectrum analyzer one, yes, spectrum analyzer. We'll reduce squelch. All right. This is a lot like what we would see on an individual trace. We had no squelch. You could turn the dial down and tune into this particular frequency to hear what it was saying. You know, anything that was popping up, right? So let's go right here to this guy and see what he's doing. We're dropping squelch. Yes, this is Policia. So, when you're looking at radio frequencies, it could be audio, it could be ground control approach, it could be all kinds of stuff. And the only way you could see it only way you could hear it on this one. This is not doxing, this is over the air, all right? So if they say anything about a social security number, I'll try to pull it off. And that blip is a squelch.
Whenever you're ready, I believe this is going to be it.
I'm going to turn the squelch up a little bit. Yeah. We'll
3,
listen to
9, 5, 4, 3, 2, 6, 8.
that was social. Sorry. I won't usually give that away even though it's over the air. And this blip blip, something is going past the squelch band there, you know. So you can just bring it up. The dBm. All this, you know, we can use here. All right, so that's a spectrum, right? That's pretty much what this thing does, except it's tuned to surface-to-air missiles, radars, pretty much anything. Anything that comes on the spectrum, we have tuners for it. Each trace covers one. Antennas all over the place, like I said, on the aircraft. You get off there, I know you're hiding, you're not top secret. So these can also be tied to jammers. So what you would do in theory is you would use that spectrum analyzer to look at everything that's coming up. Now, the G model had something that was totally digital, that did away with this. We called it the grapefruit. So it kind of like, it was starting to use integrated circuits. And it was doing stuff automatically. This is the manual way of doing it. So let's say you're flying along and you're an electronic worker or officer, and you know that anything that pops up on this particular frequency range is a threat, but you are not sure if that is one of yours or one of the enemies or whatever. If it's an audio transmission that you could be monitoring also, what you would do is identify, let's say, that spike right there. And you find that you're in Vietnam and they're speaking Vietnamese on this. And you don't even have to know Vietnamese, but you know that, even if that's a radio or whatever, it's better safe than sorry, let's jam it. So what you do is you identify where it's at, you put one of our jammers over that, and its threshold basically turns their radar into this. They no longer can they no longer can pick you out from anything. Their radar becomes snow. I have not divulged anything classified because I didn't mention specific frequencies. And operational tactics, they already know this. You know, I mean, this is not secret or top secret or even classified. But this is what we'd use to also check our transmitters that we put in there to make sure they're working. So if you had to replace a heavy because it wasn't transmitting, you would fire this up to use as your to make sure it was all right. In theory, you would have a dummy load on this transmitter because it's I can't say how many watts. That was another thing that was classified, but it's kicking out, let's say, hundreds of watts, and that overwhelms. This is the power supply for the 20 each different trace and stuff. You it gets pretty detailed. That's why I thought, man, you got pictures, you got layouts, you got everything except for the secret information in here. Surely some of this must be classified. It's not classified, and stop calling me Shirley. My name is Boris. I will only tell you one more time. So yeah, we'll go into that in more detail later on. I just wanted to show you that no matter what it is, man, I've either experienced it or seen and experienced. I can talk about all kinds of things, whatever you want to talk about, you know. Uh, but how I got these safety wire pliers, all right? I did not steal them. You know where they were going to wind up? In the trash, because every military base has what they call like things that you're allowed to have and things you're not allowed to have. You're allowed to have 7 safety wire pliers. If you have any more than that, then you should turn it in because, according to what we've determined, this is all you need. And if you need any more, you can order more. Well, anybody that's in that stuff knows that it's better off to have too many than not enough. But every once in a while, they do an ORI, an operational readiness inspection, and they come through and they make sure that you're exact to everything. So if you've got brand new one of these in a box, you know where it goes? The trash. And the trash on a flight line is like a chicken wire fence around the trash. And the trash was picked up by the Koreans. You know how much we had to pay the Koreans to pick up the trash? Nothing, because they got so much good stuff from it. They did it for free. They even had to tell people, stop throwing away classified information or orders and stuff in paper because it's being used in the fish and chips and stuff when they would sell in the street. You'd open it up and you'd find, oh shit, this should not have wound up here. It wound up in the trash. Anyways, I saw one of those and I said, man, these things are so useful. When you get to know them, man, they got a wire cutter, they're a plier, and when you lock it in place and pull it, it twists the wire and it makes a single wire into a double strand and makes it pretty strong. And it holds things. These are pretty good to have. You can pinch your fingers. Anything you can do wrong with this, I've done it. But this is from Kunsan Air Base, Korea, 1978. That is not all they throw out, Don. And also we had, like, on military bases, if you knew that an ORI, you always knew when these things were coming up. A lot of the sergeants and everything would put all this excess in their trunk. They either lived off base or on base. They won't search your personal property. So a lot of these excess things, they wouldn't throw them away. They would put them in their trunk, and when the guys were gone, they'd come back. In Korea, I guess they weren't that coordinated. They didn't know that. So somebody got lazy and just threw it away. And I wasn't going to let it go away because I didn't keep very many, souvenirs and stuff. But this was one of them. I want to make sure that my this screen looks awfully dark to me right now, and I wonder what is happening. Doesn't it look dark to you? It's in night mode, but I mean it looks awfully dark, and I'm touching it. It's not because I'm not touching you. I'm not. Oh, that's why. 5%. It's gone to dark mode. I gotta hook this back up. I told you we are prepared for you. We are prepared for just such an emergency here, comrade. We have backup power supply. Yes. It will turn magically bright again. Else we are at 5%. It does not bother me, 5%. What is main guy going on? We're at 2 hours. Let me check this guy. 54%. We are doing good. Right. I am not sleepy. I'm not tired. I I'm not fighting insomnia. I can still technically go to 1 a.m. if I want to. Actually, I can stay up all night, but because I'm getting back to a regular sleep schedule, I'd like to probably. Speed Racer comes on at 11:30, and by then I've got the whole thing on DVD. I just like watching it and stuff at a certain time. So we can go probably until Speed Racer comes on, if that's okay. And if you can't stick around, don't feel sorry, And if I haven't caught up with you on the chat, I'll get on there. But I'm about to take a temporary pause because I got rid of the TO and I want to reorganize. And I want to sit down and reorient the camera so I don't have to stand up anymore. And I placed a mat by the floor and we can start talking about knives or anything you want. Really, anything you want. Just remember, I'm not going to censor anything. And if YouTube's got an issue with it, then the most they would affect is monetization. And I don't care about that. I'm happy, for any donation and stuff like that. But the only thing that limits me now is, I don't want to intentionally piss people off, and I don't want to intentionally get into topics that the majority of people don't want to hear. And stuff you do want to hear, things you want to see. I can come up with stuff to put out there, but like I said, right now I'm getting cotton mouth, and I need to get my drink, and I might even make some coffee. So we're gonna take a little short coffee break, drinky break. Stay here if you want. You don't have to. When I come back, if I'm still live and it's still going, I'll still be going. But probably since we've been live for 2 hours and 7 minutes according to this, I will probably only be able to go another hour and a half. So I'll just let you know. That will give everybody a break. That'll give me time to watch Speed Racer. And yes, it is intermission time, but discuss things amongst yourselves. It is not classified. Smoking lamp is lit. Smoking lamp is lit. Who's smoking? Let me go check. Are you smoking? No, I'm not even hot. I'm not even smoking yet. Do we need more vodka? No, we got enough vodka. I need to clear up. Okay, there's tripwire. I see tripwire here. It's not connected, that's why. You dunka. I'm going to run out of juice. I must plug back in. Don't disconnect that wire, I tell you. It will make you hurt. Okay, Boris, calm down. We're peace-loving peoples here. Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. Yeah, that's old. That's gone. It's not coming back, no matter what you want it, all right? This is the time, the age of Aquarius. No, that's gone too. Age of Aquarius, that's old. What are you doing? Putting these pliers up and making coffee. Come on. Focus. I'm talking to Kitty. I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to Kitty. Oh, it's right. Kitty's sleeping. Let me put a book here, Kitty. You don't need to guard secrets. I'll put them up for you. Try not to step on Kitty. Nothing is there. That's a good place for you. Well, what do I need over here? Maybe I found my glasses. Maybe. I don't think so. There's not time for you to find glasses here. Let's just say here. HughesNet. No, this is advertisement. This is trash. This is trash. Why keep it? What is this empty glass? This glass here was the orange juice I was drinking before. And did I drink it all? No. I bent over to do something and spilled it all over the floor, all over myself, and I laughed. You're so stupid. Okay, we gotta crawl like dogs again. Oh, my knees. Why you do this to me? Torture me. Why you do this? Why don't you unplug? It's too late now. You have crawled like doggy. And everybody sees. No, it's not pointed that way. All right. Oh, we gotta get back up now. Oh, fuck. My right knee. Oh, my God. That's painful. Why you do that to me? Huh? Who make this mess in here? The cat did not do that. She could not get up here. Somebody made a mess up here. Who'd like to take the blame for it? Let's shut up and make coffee. Get over here. And pull out the percolator. I'm gonna turn on the light here. This is going to take some time. Alright, I'll take this. And what are my shoes doing? What are my shoes doing in the sink? I don't know. It must have been a good reason. I had a good reason for that. I don't remember what it was. I think you're getting dementia. Now, dementia's got nothing on me. I got all kinds of dementia. Put water here and put it there. Okay, go in there. Alright, we already got water in there. Drop that. Now I gotta do is get the coffee going. There you go. Down the drain you go. Okay, make sure it's not all coffee. It's good. I just stop that. Now we need is a spoon. No, turn that light off. Spoon. And we take scientific measurements of the amount here. No. Dos. Roll it up. Bring it up. Must align. Improper alignment. Get it right. Get out of it. Must align this proper. I think it's proper. No, that's bad. That's bad. You do not have something around here. Oh, that's why you're an idiot. You're an idiot. That's why. It's because you are stupid. Hey, don't call me stupid. Alright, we put a rock on here to keep it from running away with the turn on switch. Contact! Alright. We go back there and we act like nothing happened. And what do you do? Shoes while you go and sink. I don't trust you in there. You were up to something. Oh, it's full of water. Oh my God. The cracks are full of water and they were in the sink and I was going to throw them and I spilled water everywhere. Alright, I think we are allowed to disconnect plug for temporary time and still crawl like dog to the water. Oh, kitty, did I get you with water too, kitty? I gotta check kitty. Gotta make sure I didn't throw shoe water on kitty. No, she's okay. It almost got you, I know, yes, I see. Almost got my kitty. Almost got my kitty with the water. Let me turn the camera out there. Show everybody how poor kitty almost got hit with the water. See? You miss. Those come from Crocs. She's looking at me like, hey, what's up? You try to kill me. No, I'm not trying to kill you. Here. There you go. You sit there. Here is a little toy you can play with. And I don't think she really has fleas, but I'm going to get her flea treatment or flea collar. There you go. Here's your stuff. Here. Attack that. She's funny. I like that cat. Okay. Let's go here. Coffee is brewing. I don't need to do nothing else. Let me check here. Foreigner to done. What's it? You call them knives or knives? I don't know the difference. Knife or knives? A knife is a single one. Knives are two. That's how I do it. You see, this is a knife. This is a knife. These are knives. This is flashlight. Show us some whittlers. Okay. As a matter of fact, I was using this guy. I haven't used it a lot, but I've been using it, and it's the it's like a copy of the case, like seahorse whittler type of thing. Yes, he lost his shield, but this is good for general cutting and everything. And then you got, if you want to whittle, you have, I believe this is maybe classic carbon. I'm not sure. We would look here. Our rough rider. I believe these are both identical pin blades, but I could be wrong. One might be a little thinner. I don't know. But that's the little. That's one of the case knives that I don't have. The pattern that I'd probably like to one day acquire. And I know a guy I used to follow. I won't mention his name, but the way he used to close this particular knife was he would turn it like this, and on the back of his butt, he would fold the knife down and close it. I'm sure a lot of you have done it before. You take a folding knife and you just hit it on your leg. He did it on his butt. Guess what? It was facing the wrong way, and he wound up going to the hospital because he cut himself in the butt deeply with the sucker. Again, I won't mention his name, but he was some kind of a survivalist was in his name or something like that. So yeah, everybody can do something dumb, but these are pretty good. It's almost like carrying around a Stockman, but not really, because you don't have the extra blades. And I always like the little one. Now this thing's got a good half stop to it and a nice pointy blade. What I like about Warncliffe's knives is you can do like this, and you can do some exact cuts, but it's a straight edge, all right? And if you want something, it's nice to pair that with a curved edge. You've got a little bit of a curved edge here that you can use on that. But this is mostly for, like I said, whittling. All right, now, you've got to keep in mind, I don't have my glasses on. And in one of these drawers over here, you're going to have to tell me when we find them. I can look through the camera and see it perfectly because it's by my nose. But we'll just go through the drawers up here. No, those are not whittlers. And I got to be careful with the top one because it doesn't have the weight of the other stuff on it, the way these are. These are Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree special. All right. So you pull them out. When you put them, you go past halfway, you got to kind of wiggle it. Those are not whittlers. We will just go down row by row. Those are not whittlers, although this guy is a canoe. I mean, a gunboat. That's what they call a gunboat. Merry Christmas. We'll put you here. Anything good we find, we will set aside. And if I'm watching the chat, if it comes up, if you say, I want to see that one, I'll get it, but Dutchman here. Okay, that's all. Technically, you guys are talking among yourself. A large cotton sampler. I like the little ones, but this is a large cotton sampler. And some people like to carry these. These are useful, so we will drop that down there as one to look at. I'm pulling out ones to look at. This is a case. Farm and Field Sodbuster. This is my first case that was ever given to me. It was given to me by a former lock-picking person. I'll remember his name eventually. I'm bad about things like this. These are the Imperial Small and the Imperial Big Sodbusters. Show us some muskrats. Okay. I'll keep an eye out on muskrats as I'm going through. We're gonna go through as many as I can until I can find whittlers. Now that guy right here is a little. This one's kind of cool done. This is a radio repair kind of one. He's got a little bit of pliers in there and a screwdriver. We'll look at that. And we will keep an eye out for whittlers and muskrats. Oh, my back, my back. Let me get in a better position to do this, and we'll put the chat over here so I don't trip over the tripwire. We'll get back to you. And we're just going over here, and I'm just going with, I can restore the chat just by, oh, there went. What went down? Something took a dive. All right, that was just the giveaway stuff, which is mostly mine. I don't want to dox him with his, so I got to peek. This is what I was doing to try to protect the banging, you know, it was like put a pad down there. And this is this was mine, but it's an Elementum, but yeah, I'm just putting all this stuff back. Uh-oh, what does it say? It said something about orientation. It didn't like me doing that. I don't know. The screen did something. Let's see. We're still there. Let's show me some muskrats. So if it's still live, you could say something else. I'm just picking up this mess I made. This is a little knife stand here. We can put somebody on display here. All right there. Let me pick these up. This fell down, but it was not part of that. That's a little thin beeping knives. This came out of my pocket. I don't know how it got down there. These are wheat pennies. We can look at wheat pennies. Now this is what I'm gonna put on Scrappy's neck. It's a blank one right now. I got like 10 of them. I'm gonna make some for neighbors if they got any pets. I'm not gonna charge them anything. It's for Scrappy. It's just first I've got to collar him to let him know it's not a stray cat. We don't have animal control that roam around here and pick up stray cats. Even if you get one, they don't want it. So cats got a free reign. Dogs only if they're wild and aggressive will they pick them up. If you ever have any problem with these, here, let me show you a little secret I learned. That's how you get past that. Stop fumbling with that Ziploc. All right. Yes. There's a secret now you know. All right, so this is just plain, right? But I've got metal stamps and numbers from Locksmith. When you do a challenge lock, a lot of times what's more durable than Sharpie or anything else, you stamp in there the challenge lock number and who did it, you know, like I'd put my name in there or just WM, you know, or something like that. But this is going to be his, and what I start off with, first we want to identify his name, you know, like Scrappy. And then the main thing is my phone number and the apartment complex's phone number. Also, any of you that I know that are friends and stuff that I've met before, I'll give you my phone number. I won't bug you. You know, if you want to talk to me anytime about anything, you can. Texting is better to, you know, first in case I'm asleep, you know, see if I'm awake. But you can also call. You know, like I said, I'm not worried about secrecy or privacy or any of this other stuff. I'm 68 years old. If they think I'm a threat, then come at me, because if you're up to no good, I am a threat. But otherwise, I just want to enjoy life, man. I want to. All right, show us some muskrats. All right, is it still? Can somebody put some? That was 10:37 p.m. and this is pretty close. I think it's still live. I think it's still going. Anybody that's still here, you just can put an emoji in there or something like that. Just let me know that the stream is still live, because we need muskrats, and we were looking for something else. Let me find muskrats first. I think my coffee is ready. Don's is still here, and it's still live, so that's good. Thank you, Don's. I'm just going to go grab that coffee that's brewed, and I'm going to bring the chat back over here where I can see it. All right. And in case they don't include the chat later on, I'm going to scroll through this just so we can see, you know, everything that happened. Because a lot of times when you replay the chat, I don't know what it is. You got to select it or something, but it won't show you the chat that's going on. So unless somebody refers to it while it's happening, you, when you watch your replay, you don't get to see the chat. Klaus is here too. This is good. I have 2 friends. That's enough. 1 would be enough for me to keep going, but 2 is even better. So as long as you guys are still here, I'm still here. And I'm not going to try to kill my kitty. We'll need some coffee. And we will discuss something. New things that I've discovered that I should have known about long time ago. And that is that you can put cinnamon in coffee. I've already done chocolate and vanilla, but I never thought about cinnamon. That's called like Mexican chocolate here. They put cinnamon in. Oh man, that is such a kick. I mean, I love that. You don't want to get carried away with it. But see, this one is called Taste of San Antonio. And I lived in San Antonio. The one that's Taste of Austin, this is just an HEB type of thing. You know, if you show this and you're worried about monetization, a lot of times they'll restrict it because you're showing a brand or something, you know, and other advertisers don't want to, you know, like, let's say Folgers wanted to throw an ad in here. They wouldn't want me showing that. I don't care if it's just monetization. I don't care. I got something to say. Taste of Texas. Okay, now Austin, they put, instead of cinnamon, pecan. Actually, it's not bad. I just prefer the cinnamon, but they put pecan there. So I usually throw cinnamon in also. Let me get my coffee. Getting coffee. And then Kitty is mad at me about something. Why are you mad at me, Kitty? I didn't step on you. Oh, because I'm not playing with you? I'm not feeding you? You had a big meal. You had a big meal, and I've got a plate that someone gave me. Let me show you something else. We talk about inflation, right? I'm on Social Security, and they gave us a 2.5% Social Security increase. This is Dollar Tree, right? It used to be $1.25. They're selling it for $2 now. Think about that. This is what, like a 75% increase? It's 75 cents. I wonder what it is out of. I usually get that wrong until I figure it out. But this was usually pretty good. It's not as good as that other stuff. That other stuff was like $8 or something for. Yeah, it is a little bit cheaper. But it has the flavor of Jim Beam in it. But really, the coffee grinds are sometimes kind of odd looking. Sometimes it looks like I found like chunks of wood in there, or I don't know. I mean, it's all right. Really, I'm not a germaphobe. I'm not worried about. I've been exposed to so many things that if a chemical was going to kill me, it could have done it a long time ago. I'm not worried about that, but I am trying to be healthy when at all possible. I'm not going to intentionally drink lead or something like that, you know, even though I was exposed to lead a lot. All right, where did I put my coffee? Oh, well, let's look at the kitty and see what she's doing. There's her fish. She's got her fish. Oh, now she's got me. Here's your fish. Whenever she starts attacking me, I say, here's your fish. And then I throw it. There's your fish. Your fish went over there. Kill the fish. Kill it. Get it. See, there's her big plate. She had ham and turkey, and she had her daddy there. They were both eating, having a good time. And then her daddy had to go out, violating some policy. Oh, there she goes in the box. See, this box is a little bit bigger. She's been fitting in a smaller box, and I figured that one was more appropriate for her. And that also protects her. I might kick it or something, but I'm not going to step on it. If she's sitting over here and she's exposed, let me get her. Let me get you a little toy to play with. All right, let's go back over here. I found my coffee. That's enough kitty break. Right. Now, something I cannot show on the live stream is a firearm. And the reason why is some people off themselves on live. So if a firearm pops up, the live stream will stop whether I know it or not. And I'm not going to show any of them. I could do that by, doing a pre-recorded one and caution everybody that firearms coming up. And as far as ads, I always click on if I'm gonna cuss in there, I put it in there. If it's safer ads, if I'm talking about controversial subjects, I clicked all of them on this one except for the one that don't apply. And that's just for if they want to throw ads, they just have to be aware it's not going to necessarily be a family friendly anybody can watch type stuff because we're going to talk about we possibly could talk about adult subjects like I can tell you about addictions. I can tell you about relationships. I can talk about damn near anything, man. Almost anything. If it's something I don't want to talk about, I won't be offended. I'll just say I'd rather not talk about that on the live. I can talk it to you in person if you want to talk about it more, but I can't talk about it on a live. Um, Not that I'm afraid of anything. Also, another thing that I was doing when I was getting more open and talking about stuff is I realized not everybody wants not everybody wants to reveal all their secrets. Some people have very good reasons for keeping their identity secret from other neighbors and stuff. It doesn't have to be top secret. It's just because of how people are. Some people get jealous. Some people get suspicious. Who knows their motivation? That's not my motivation. I can roll up to any culture and try to fit in with them. If they don't want me around, okay, well, see you later. I'm not going to take it hard. It's hard to accept. You know, some guy that's in camo and rolling around the neighborhood like he's security, and he comes up and he's playing rap music, and you're black. It's like, whoa, that's not what I expected. And then for the same reason, go over to where everybody's in country western and turn it on and enjoy it. You know, and that's not just so that I can be a big spy or anything. It's just that I'm friendly now with people. I mean, I don't have any issues with talking to people, and I talk to strangers. I talk to people that weren't strangers. Like I was saying earlier, this is the first time in my life that I know everybody that's connected to this building right here, above me. I know everybody on the top floor, and I know everybody on the top floor, and not only know them, I consider them friends. Or you don't know what that does, man. From being paranoid and everything else to being open, and I'm not worried about my teeth. I'm not worried about my appearance. I'm not worried about my age. I'm not worried about any of that stuff. If they are worried about it, that's something they should deal with. But I'm just letting people know it's not a group of rednecks over here. It's not. It's not a bunch of gangsters or anything like that. It's just neighbors. It's just people. And the way you get rid of a lot of suspicion and everything else is talk to someone. You don't know what all kind of a gain you're going to get from talking to someone. And if that's what it needs to motivate you, you need some kind of gain. Mine was that is the gain. Being able to talk to someone. I don't need to get anything else out of it. Just being able to talk and make friends. I don't know how much longer I've got left in life, but I'm going to enjoy it. I'm not going to hold secrets that I don't need to hold. I will keep secrets that are, and I'll still, even though I don't know them, I'll still keep national secrets and stuff. And even personal secrets. If someone tells me their name and they don't want anybody to know the name or address, I can hold that. I'm not intentionally going to do that. I will never do that. But my life is an open book. Ooh, what's that? That's some spooge on it, or it's not really spooge. One time I didn't know what that meant, and I was saying something, and I was working in the the fiberglass place. I was working with ex-cons and stuff like that, and I said, "Oh, watch out! That's probably got some spooge on that handle, or that's some kind of spooge." I didn't know that was male ejaculate. I thought it was just meant it was you know, just something was messed up right there. But he goes, it better not be spooge. I'm like, what? And then he told me what spooge was. Oh man, I really didn't know all this time. A little bit of that is rust. I started scraping on it. A little bit of that is rust. I've allowed that to. It was a given to me knife, but I should have treated it better. Some of this will come off. I'm just using it. See, I thought it was this. And what that is if you smoke a pipe, sometimes the resin, if you're doing it stupidly and you're trying to clear the pipe out, you'll just blow through the hole and it'll go everywhere and it'll land on things and it'll look like that. So that's probably what some of that is. All right, so this was my first GEC knife ever, and it was given to me. And man, that's just another thing about some people get into these hobbies just to get free stuff. I don't expect it, but when somebody gives you something like a GC and they just give it to you, I don't know. Even though it's been used and everything else, this is like very special to me. It's a carbon one, 2018. I used to remember all this stuff, what it was. But these are great knives. Now, the only issue it had with it is there was a little bit of pin wrap, blade wrap. If you just let it slam like that, it would land in a particular spot. And the way you can fix that is to keep sharpening it or put something underneath there. I try to ease it down now, mainly just so that it doesn't happen again. But the way I look at it is, if it does happen, that's a learning experience. I can learn how to repair that and pass that knowledge on. And I do this on everything that I run into, not to say, ooh, look what I found, It's to help people out, just like the triad locks. Some of them are too strong for, everybody I know likes to act like they're a tough guy. But when you get older, you may get arthritis. You're definitely going to feel pain a lot more, not just from that. It's just from all kinds of stuff. And if you've got a knife that you like, but it's painful to close, I guarantee you will not use it very much. You'll find something easier, You'll find something like this. It won't hurt you at all. Now, this might hurt, if you got a cut or something like that. But you can get the assistance of another hand over here, another finger, and you can push up and you can, let's pull down. You can pull down and in gravity open it without, let me see, I'm leaving a little bit of a dent, but it's not as bad. Or if it had a fuller, you could just flick it, Now this one I'm just, trying right now. But like I said, if I can find a way to help people, I will. We'll see. I'll keep on rambling. I'm going to check with everybody. All right, we still got time. I set it as all right. So, all right, let me check with this and make sure because we were still looking for muskrats. I'll find one of those. I just want to see where last. Oh, Checkmate's here. Hey, I didn't know he was here. There's Checkmate. Cool. See, a lot of you people here are regular people, and I consider you friends, because I know you. I know you enough to know that what you like and don't like. Pepper Dingo, Checkmate, Klaus, Don's, Tom also, he's a member of WKL. Anybody else that's a member of Williams Knife Life, please let me know and I'll make you a moderator. And really the only reason for moderators, not right now, but if the channel gets popular enough, I can't always watch the chat while I'm doing stuff. I'm getting better at it. I'm learning this. But usually what I do is I have a separate phone that always has it up here. Before I didn't know how to refresh this. I thought it was said chat, and I said, well, it's there for a little while, and then it's gone. All I got to do is take my finger and swipe up, and it pops back up. All right, so we got Pepper Dingo in here. What we're doing right now, for anybody that popped in late, is I've already covered everything I need to cover. I'm going to go till 11:30 my time. I've been on for 2 hours and 39 minutes. I'm not worried about the length of time. But at 11:30 my time, I'm going to watch Speed Racer and give myself a break because I'm rambling my mouth. And let me go find my coffee right now. I made it. I don't know where it's at. And I want to drink it. I need to add ingredients to it, like sugar and maybe milk and maybe a little more cinnamon and definitely some more chocolate. Here it is. It's waiting over here. I have some, since we're not worried about brands and everything else, I use this a lot. You gotta like put a little bit in there, but it's better. Like it's like cocoa powder, but it's a little bit better, and it's called cacao. And the problem with it is, you really got to get it warm. You got to really get it warm. But a little bit goes a long way, and you can use it in cooking. I mean, really, I can't tell the difference between it and cocoa, except that it's cacao, and it's not cocoa. So all the cocoa prices and everything, you drop a little bit of this in a white cake batter. You got chocolate. You want to make chocolate milk. I mean, like hot chocolate. All you do is add a little bit of sugar. I usually take some of that because it's darker and more chocolatey. I take some of that and put it in. I was supposed to be getting my coffee. Dang bad. Let me get back over there, and then I will talk to you. Quit your talking. You have diarrhea of mouth. Shut up, Forrest. You're supposed to be friendly with people. Don't get them all pissed off. Nobody's going to come around. They don't like you being mean. They don't like me being mean. It's tough. I think we need to bring Peppy out. He's a little bit more friendly. He said, you need to bring me out. I don't get to get on TV very much. It's always Boris. Boris. Everybody wants Boris. What about Peppy? Peppy's nice too. Uh-oh, see? Peppy started turning into Boris. What happened there? No talk about me too much. And we don't want to put honey in there. No honey. What are we putting in there? Cinnamon? Just go with sugar and milk. You don't even need milk, but just go with sugar and milk. Shut up. Going this down pretty soon. What's stepping in it? What is that? Plates on the floor. Jeez. Plates on floor and shoes in sinks. I think we got a problem. We got a problem here. Alright, we get back over here. This guy's still plugged in. Okay, he's still plugged in. What did I drop? I dropped something. This would be illegal in the UK. Why? Because it's zombie. That makes it much more dangerous. This is much more deadly weapon here. And it's because it says it also. Zombie Nick! Who is this guy? He never dies. He never dies. You cannot kill him. Oh, I can kill him. I can cut his head off. Well, yeah, you can cut his head off. But I mean, other than that, really, that's the thing I don't believe. I've seen actual zombies, real zombies, people, and yeah, they're not into eating brains. They're into consuming something else that makes them a zombie. And in reality, I think if a zombie still has to have a functioning body, it's gonna need a pumping heart to prevent rigor mortis. I don't know why we're getting into this. And they would eventually, it couldn't just be you could hack off a limb and they could keep going, because they still would need a circulation to keep the body working, or even a body brought back from the dead would eventually stop walking, certainly stop talking and functioning. So you really don't have to worry about a zombie apocalypse of that type, but you probably should worry about real life human zombies, because there are certain chemicals that you can take, that bath salts, that turns people into, I don't know, flesh-eating zombies. They go crazy. Yes, I have tried bath salts before. There are very few chemicals in the world that I have not done, and those are usually for good reason. I don't like needles, so I will not stick anything in my veins. I've tried almost everything. Some things where I will not try at any time, but just about anything else I've tried. My main um, preference of choice is herbal. It's also known as a medicine in many places, but here in Texas, they're trying to outlaw all forms of THC, even gummy bears and hemp. So we are very backwards here, right? This is one of those three things where you can do one, you can select it between two, you can do two at a time, you can do all three at a time if you're bold, you don't care about flavor, or you can just say, I want to go this, I want to go this, I want to go this, or I want to try this combination, or this combination, or that combination, or I don't care about combinations. Give me everything. All right, if that violated some YouTube thing or whatever, sorry. Hey, it's recreational. I'm not encouraging anything. I think it's bad for people to smoke. It's bad for you. Don't do it. Don't do like I do. Do like I say. All right, now we get back. Let's take a sip of coffee. We see if anybody's still here. Don's is saying, look at me, learning knives and all. Okay, let me take a drink here, and we'll get back to what I missed out on. Pepper Dingo, was it Whittlers? And, no, Muskrat. Somebody was looking for Muskrat, somebody was looking for Whittlers. Hello, Letterman. Thank you. DL Letterman. I think it's David Letterman. Howdy, brother. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for joining. I've had this live stream up for 2 hours and 46 minutes. We have covered everything, but I'm going to stay on until 11:30 my time. Why? Speed Racer comes on. I've got the whole complete set on DVD. I could watch it at any time. I don't know. It's just that I've been yammering so much. Now, what I originally was going to do was say the magic word in here, but Pepper Dingo has reminded me that usually I let the thing go for a week. 2 weeks ago, on Big Belly Knives, I said the magic word. Guess what? That's all you got to go to. Go back into Big Belly Knives, look at it, say the magic word. Now, not only if you're overseas, it's available to you if you can get somebody from the lower 48 to drop ship it for you, like Don's. Next month, I'm going to do a giveaway just for people that are overseas. And what I mean by overseas is like Canada, even though it's not a sea. I'm talking about CONUS, continental United States, and that's not Alaska and not Hawaii, and none of the territories or, stuff like that. And that's only because of shipping and knife laws. The way I'm going to get around it on the overseas one is I'm going to designate a certain amount of money. Last time I did it was like $40. And I'm going to say, if you want to get into this and you want to win, if you win, it's got to be some way I can transfer the money. I've got a PayPal account. So if you can get a PayPal account, that's fine. I've got Cash App. I've got this thing called Zelle. I mean, pretty much if it can be done and by transfer of money, I'll do it. And that way it eliminates. It's up to you what you spend it on. You can spend it on. I'd rather send you a package with little trinkets and goodies. But you know how it is with customs and stuff, If I was to just, as a goof, send this to somebody in England, not only would they confiscate it, they would probably get a stern talking to, and they can't do anything to me. But I'd bring grief on them. I'd cause issues with them. They'd have to go in because, ooh, it's deadly, it's zombie. The England, if you don't know it, has come across with some zombie knife law. The reason why I keep up with England is I have dual citizenship. I was born there. We left when I was 6 months old, And then I came back in the service, so I got to see it from both sides. 6 months old, I don't know anything about England. I was more American than most people, but because my dad was in the service, he was in the Air Force at the time. My mom was an American citizen. She was over there. She wasn't in the service, but I was born of American parents overseas, and that's that's what I'm doing. Basically, I want to give back to the people that supported my channel. And I know a lot of people like Don's. Not only has he helped me out in this by commenting and reminding me that I used to be in locks and stuff, he did a lot in locks too. I mean, generous. The people in the lock sport community are very generous and very that's why I only got 800 and something subscribers on that and 1,000 videos. And this channel has been on for at least 6 years. I've got 2,700 something subscribers. I'm monetized already. Uh, that other one was first, and it's still sitting there. Now, I'm not bitching about that, but the thing is, if I get it up to 1,000, which I will soon, I can get it monetized. And all that means is instead of letting YouTube run ads on it for free, now I get a small percentage of that. And that's called passive income. And when you're living off Social Security only, hey, an extra $100 a month comes in handy. Now, for those of you that have been supporting me with cats and stuff, I know there's some anonymous people that send money in there and they say to support the cats. I want you to know that the cats you're going to be helping with right now will only be the little kitten right there and Scrappy. If anything else comes up like stray animals, I'll try to take care of it. But for those of you that were sending um, larger donations of money, you don't have to do that. I mean, I appreciate it, but I'm starting to get a handle on a lot of things. And one of them is even though I don't have any money, I have friends. I have lots of friends, and I don't want to exploit that. But I mean, people just say, "My cat's not eating this." Would you like it? I do the same thing. If a cat gets picky, give it to somebody else that has cats and see if they think it's picky. And guess what? When you're only down to just the things that they've been turning their nose up, and you've been giving them scraps and improvised cat food, they'll eat that picky stuff like they love it. So cats are an expert at conning you into believing that they're starving and that the food you're not giving them is not good enough, and you've got to go get them something special. And we all do it because we love them, but I'm telling you, they're playing us. You know, that's why I say that Scrappy is not my cat. I'm his human. He's anybody's cat. Anybody wants to pet him out there, if they want to adopt him and take him, I'd get over it. But you got to get his permission first, right? You can't just say, "Oh, I like this cat and I want him and I'm going to make him mine." No, he has something to say about it, and I have something to say about it. And I won't let him go to an abusive. He's fine the way he is right now, but he would be much better if he stopped being top cat and he got into a home that loves him. I love him. I'll let him come in here. I can take him in also. It's just that while he's still got his balls, he's going to spray and he could make little girl pregnant. And this is the only way a female cat ever gets to not be pregnant is if somebody takes care of her before she goes into heat and either sterilizes her or keeps toms away from her. Out in nature, she's fair game even to her father. And they are stuck in a perpetual phase of having babies, taking care of babies, getting jumped by male cats, and just that continuous cycle of babies, babies, babies until they either die or get eaten. And they get to see a lot of their babies not make it. Either somebody takes them or animals get them. And so it's not nice for the animal. I'm gonna let you see her. She scratches like she's got a cut. I mean, like she's got fleas and stuff. But like I said, I don't see any. Oh, it's so soft. Oh my God, I've forgotten how soft kittens are. And she's so loving, man. She is such a loving kitty. She's not purring right now. I know there's something wrong with your motor. You need your spark plugs changed, huh? She smells the coffee. And she sees bugs too. She sees things. Um, if you're, oh, sorry. If you're almost deaf like I am, I took an online audio thing to try to see what my frequency range is because of, I've been around a lot of jet engines and gunfire. And I go up to 4,000 hertz. And that's it. The only thing beyond that I hear is this high pitched ring that I've had in my ears at least since I was 20 years old. Some of that was because of while I was in the service, but I grew up in the '60s, so we didn't wear hearing protection when we shot our shotguns or 22s and stuff. And when I went to the gun range, that's when we started wearing them because everybody was firing at once. It gets pretty loud. But hunting and all that other stuff, you don't wear earplugs. And what happens? Riding lawnmowers, same thing too. I didn't wear earplugs while mowing. Cumulative low, cumulative noise damage. Just trying to get comfy in my lap right now. Even with earplugs, if you've got a high enough frequency like jet engines going on, and you've got ear muffs and earplugs, you will still get tinnitus if you get exposed to it long enough because it's conducting through the bone in your head. The bone in your head will go in and still vibrate the inner ear, and what you wind up with is, and I mean constant, continuous, constant. It's like something like that. Everybody has it differently. My mind kind of blocks it out. When it becomes most noticeable is silence. So I never, when they say silence is gold, I never hear silence. Um, but beyond 4,000 hertz, nothing. And the human hearing range potentially could be 20 to 20,000 hertz. Nothing. I don't hear those high frequencies. I hear low frequencies. Guess what? Animals like cats have even higher frequency range hearing than 20,000 hertz. So they can hear and see things we don't hear. If you've got one of those as a companion, a lot of times I think that Scrappy's trying to psych me out, but he'll look and he'll stare at something behind me, and I go, I'm not going to fall for that. Usually when I turn around, it's either a squirrel or human. It's something that he would be interested in, but he does that, like, hey, I was listening to you and I was purring and everything, but look at that over there. And like I said, sometimes I think he's psyching me out because I don't see it, but it's just because I don't see it or hear it. I'm old. All right, we got a little bit more time. What I'm going to do is take requests. If anybody's still here, of anything you wanna talk about, see or hear, and try to limit it to. Keep in mind that uh, I get off track quite easily. You want to get up there and show off? You can show off to everybody. I thought you just wanted to be in my lap. Come on, you should be up on the table and be on display. I cleared it off for you. I don't want her to step on there and start deleting people and timing out them, but yeah. That's another thing. She's a little kitten, so she gets where big cats don't normally get, and that's why I have to clean this off, because I heard her knocking stuff over. I don't hold it against her. Look, she's gonna try. No, you can't be a moderator. You're not ready yet. She wanted to be a moderator. She was gonna punish somebody for something. Hear that? She's purring. I think she's happy. All right, let me see if there's any requests. Kitten. Her name is really Kit, but I just call her Kit Kit, and that was just so it would be generic, so that if I had to give her up. Pepper Dingo's still here. Okay, cool. Guess what I'm trying to do, Pepper Dingo? My Latin American friends, I'm trying to tell them, hey, when we greet, let's greet and speak in Spanish. And, I want to get beyond that, the basic, So I'm still using my friendship to learn things too, and that makes them more comfortable. Because they're young, and I've always been closer to. I won't say his name, but I almost did, and that would be bad on a live stream. I'd have to make up something like, "Oh, no, I had dementia," but I'm trying not to. I'm trying to remember people's names, as part of it. But I also don't want to dox them by dropping them their names, and So, anyways, we'll call him mi amigo, mi amigo numero uno. So this is the first guy that I met here, and he's small like me. He doesn't have that Napoleonic complex, but he's pretty cool. His older brother is much taller and it's almost perfect English. You could hardly tell that he was Spanish, you know. But both of them know how to speak Spanish, and so they like speaking English. They're just comfortable with it, and it's understandable nowadays why you would want to try to, if you were Hispanic, at least speak English. Um, but they're my friends, man. So believe me, if somebody was trying to take them away and they have a legal right to be here, I try to defend them as much as I could. But I'm not gonna go armed against ICE agents, for going against somebody that is illegal, in here. But I've worked with a lot of illegals, and they're just people like anybody else. They're not terrorists. They're here. They're workers. They're migrant workers. I've worked with them before. These guys are not. I'm sure they got green cards and were born here. They're American citizens, but uh, I know about migrant workers. I work with them. They brought in some. I like this term, but this is what people call them here in Texas, wetbacks, and that's from crossing the Rio Grande River instead of coming through legally. And what they do is they work migrant labor, and then they go back. They get all this money that they can make more here than they can in Mexico. They go back and give them to their family when the work is over. They're not terrorists. They're not bad people. They're just people. And they found a way. Look, if you looked across an imaginary border, piece of dirt or a river, and on one side you're going to starve to death, on the other you're going to be rich, and you can be so rich that you can support your family as the only one. I mean, back then they could. Uh, Now it's a lot different, and I don't agree with it. Yes, I was in a Rendlesham forest, and I can show you the stuff now. I will. I want to show you something. I want to tell you something about that one, Klaus. I was there when the incident happened in the Rendlesham forest. I was there that night. You know where I was? Inside a secure building with no windows and no idea what's going on outside. We were just doing our job. And the only way I knew anything was happening until after I got out of the service was there was increased security. I mean, so much so that usually if you had a sticker or an ID card, they would just they get bored. They would just wave you through. They had PX workers that were BX workers that were civilians and everything. Nobody was allowed on that base unless they showed a military ID card for like a week. They were real strict on it. And, I was in a secure career field. They pulled exercise. Who knows if there was a threat? I didn't find out until later that what went on. And that pissed me off so much because I was there. I was at Woodbridge Base. There's two different bases. Bentwaters is the main base. Where this happened was Woodbridge Base. A lot of people don't like to go there because it's a smaller base. I was working night shift. It happened at night. A lot of people don't like working night shift because they got a family. Oh, she's getting rambunctious now. She's trying to eat my fingers. I got to give her a fish or something. She's getting rambunctious. But yeah, I was there. And I can tell you what I didn't see, which could be. I've read stories where there was a huge underground base with a bunch of stuff. I never saw that. We had bunkers, we had stuff for shelters. There may or may not have been that, you know, but I've been in that forest and I've seen that lighthouse that they're trying to pull it off on and saying that they just saw the lighthouse. That is a lighthouse, man. It rotates with a known thing. People that are there don't mistake a lighthouse for something floating on the ground. Uh, I've listened to the transcripts of the guys that was there when it happened, the officer and everything. I followed it really very closely, and all I can say is, um, I don't know if it was alien or not, but I do know it was not. It was not any of our gear, and and it easily could have been something in our gear because they flew the F-117 stealth fighter. When I was in service, it was in. I knew nothing about it. The first time I knew we even had it was when they bombed something in Panama, was it? That was the first description of. I was in the right career field for it. I knew about a lot of the stuff. I had enough clearance to be able to work on that stuff, but I was not assigned to that, and I didn't have a need to know. And the Air Force and most military things are very good at keeping secrets and very good at compartmentalizing things. So much so that even if you've got a top secret clearance and you want to see something that's secret and it's not something you need to know, if anybody's going to release that information to you, they shouldn't, because you don't have a need to know that. Your job does not require you to know that, even though it's just secret. It may be something that's secret that's not something you need to know, and the less you know, the less you can reveal. You can't be forced to reveal something when you don't know anything, and they are very good at that. But it was very interesting. I'll show next time we do a live stream. I'll just break out my uh, England type of photographs, pictures that I took on base. Not the. I'll show also the ones inside the secure area too, because it doesn't show anything. And like I said, everybody knew I was doing it when I wasn't being a little spy. Oh, look at her! She's trying to bite me. She gets up and, oh, girl, don't fall down. Don't hurt yourself. Oh, I think she wants some food. Are you saying goodbye to everybody? Well, we still got 15 minutes, girl. No, don't eat the wires. That's the one problem with playing with strings and stuff. I had a cat once that would chew electrical wires. And that's a hard... Yeah, you can bite my finger. You can bite my finger. It's okay. Yeah, you don't want them chewing electrical wires. I had a lamp one time. I went to work. It was plugged in, 110 volts. I came home, and it was off, and I wondered who turned the light off. And I looked at it, and the wire had been... I don't know how they didn't get zapped on their teeth. The wire had been chewed through. Let me show what activity. And the lap activity is more interesting in the background right now. See, if I try to pet her, she'll be all right. But if I put my finger down there and try to play with her, I don't mind it. But it's just you're giving the animal mixed signals. You're saying it's okay to attack. Here, eat that. Eat some leather. Give her something else to chew on. She wants to chew on something, and I'd rather chew on that than my fingers. Not that she's gonna hurt me. She'd hold back, but your teeth on your case leather. You're gonna be a knife kitty. I hope you don't take offense at that, but your whole life is gonna be in the knife life. I'm sorry. 3 hours and 7 minutes. Let's see if get here. Okay, Pepper Dingo was still here at 11:16. Sorry, it's my throat. That's because I'm not drinking my coffee. It's just back here. I'll take a sip. I'll assume you guys are still here, and I'll talk until 15 more minutes. I can mute this when I cough. Watch this. Now you can hear me. I don't like to do that because I forget. And if I do that, just tell me, hey, we can't hear you. But yeah, this is great, man. And I just like to say that the channel is going to get a lot more interesting. Instead of, I just kept wondering what I was going to do. Now I've got so many things I can talk about, so many things I can do with Wi-Fi. I can have multiple cameras. I can even have a cell phone that doesn't have a SIM card in it work. There's a lot of cameras that I had that it says you need Wi-Fi and not just cell phone Wi-Fi. I can put one out my door. I can put a door monitor on there like Ring before I went with Bling, and I gave that to my buddy, but wound up selling it to him for his mom to use out there. But that whole system was going to work off of It was going to work fine, but basically to use it, you had to upload. To see it live stream, you basically had to have it connected to Wi-Fi, which I didn't have. So it was doing me no good. He was late. He didn't have a Christmas present for his mom. I mean, you'll meet him eventually. If he wants to be online or he wants to speak, you'll meet him. But I have another family up in Ferris, basically, and that's with this guy that we've been through a lot. I mean, he's young, but he's the kind of guy that if I would have only had one friend, if I was like that, still, that's him. And his name is Colby, and that's his real name. But I won't tell you anything more about it other than that's his real name. He's a really close friend of mine, and that's another group that I'm gonna try to get with because uh, you've seen before. If you look back at some of the videos I've done some videos out there where we were driving around in a little quad vehicle, and his dad was alive, and we were at the drunk tank, which that's what they call it. It's on their property, but it's a low-lying area where you can put a fire pit out there and music and gather and have a good time. And it's out in the country so people can actually fire off guns and the police won't be called. And one of them, we were sitting there partying, having a good time, and he had some neighbors that didn't really exercise proper safety procedures with a gun. In other words, you don't want to fire towards where people are unless they're a threat. And even though we're in a low-lying area, I know the sound of an AK-47 semi-automatic going off 30-round dump. I know what that sounds like. I've got one. As a matter of fact, I had one in his house, in his dad's house. He was holding it for me. It's the same one I've got here, the Egyptian Mahdi. He was holding it for me because I was about to lose it at pawn. And so he got it out of pawn for me, but he said, um, pay me when you can. And I never got around to paying him. It was always something going on. So he held on to it. And by all rights and intentions, it's still my gun. It was not a straw man purchase because he's legal to own guns and everything. He paid my pawn for me, and I never paid him back. And he died before I had a chance to pay him back. And that's why when I was negotiating with his son, which was his heir, on that, I said, look, I only owed like $150 on that gun, but because he saved it for me, I'm going to take off 500 off what I'm selling you, the Jeep. I'm taking 500 off that just for the gun because uh, it's worth at least that much to me. And this was right before I thought the things that were going to happen was going to be. I just feel a lot better in civil unrest if I got something to resist, to persuade people that find some other place to attack. I was going to do it lone wolf, but now I have a community. I'm not. I'm not psychotic. It's not an illegal weapon. I've owned this thing since the 80s. If possession of a gun like this, an assault weapon or whatever, led to violence, it would have done it by now. If the gun is that bad, it would have crawled out of its hiding place and started slaughtering people. The gun is not the issue. It's the people. I know they keep saying that. Every time there's a mass shooting, they say, we need gun control. No, we need to work on mental health and we need to work on a lot of other stuff. And it's not just platitudes, it's just that a gun is a tool. If you ban guns, I guarantee you can do mass casualties with commonly available items that are not regulated and never will be. And I don't want to give things away, but gasoline, all right? Gasoline will never be fully regulated until they eliminate it, as a fuel source. You can do a lot with gasoline. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to lead it any further, but you take away guns from people that are legally allowed to have them, and they're just going to resort to something else, usually much more destructive. And we weren't a threat in the first place. It's not the guns. When I grew up, we had shotguns in our trucks at school. We carried knives in our pockets. Uh, I've had issues where I've had issues with people at school and stuff. Never once did I think about settling it with a gun. We had race wars. We're going through the 60s. Never once did I even think about using a knife that I had against somebody in a fight like that. I never really got into them, but I mean, it. You know why? It wasn't. It wasn't because of the laws and everything. It was because of our parents. If you got caught doing something like that, we would catch hell, much more hell than it was a. You know where I got my middle name from? It's because it was an uncle of mine who was beaten to death for going fishing. And he got away with it because they could do corporal punishment. He went fishing one day and his dad caught him and brought him back to the woodshed and beat him to death with I don't know, a 2x4. They covered it up. I've seen some of the artwork he did, Milton. Man, that guy was talented and everything. Uh, that was basically justifiable homicide back then. I wouldn't mind using his name in honor of him. You know, if I ever wanted an alias, I could use a legal one. Just call myself Milt. You know, if I was afraid of it. Just like with William, I don't mind, going to that. It's just another one of those identity things that whether you're trying to identify something that's like your grandmother's maiden name or your middle name. I don't use those obvious things, but sometimes that's a backdoor way into your finances. Good luck with stealing my identity is all I gotta say, because they could still screw me over on some ways. You know, it would mess it up, but I am gonna blame all the stuff that I had, which I let a house go and credit cards and everything else like that. I just let them go. I didn't pay them. And New Mexico, they can garnish your wages. In Texas, they can't. And there's things called a statute of limitations that's beyond 7 years or even 5 years for credit card debt. So if they try to, as long as I don't make a payment on it again, there's nothing they can do about it. And they've made enough money. They wrote it off already. I've already had to, anything they wrote off, I had to pay that in the IRS on taxes. So I didn't get away with a lot, you know, but I know the law. And one of the reasons why I know the law is because I was put in that position. When I moved here and was taking care of my mom, some bill collector called her early in the morning, and she was female, and my mom almost hurt herself getting out of bed trying to answer the phone. It was, she got up to answer it, and she said, Bill, there's a woman here that wants to talk to you. And she thought it was maybe a girlfriend or something like that. No, it was a bill collector. And I talked to him and I said, look, I know my rights. You cannot do this. You cannot call family. You cannot call relatives. I'm telling you right now, and I will write it. I will put it in writing. Do not contact me about this debt. You may do all the legal things that you're allowed to do. Screw up my credit and everything else. But do not call this number again. If you do, I will get you for violating, and I rattled out the fucking code. Sorry, I dropped an F-bomb there. And I said, not only will I not owe this debt anymore, you will owe me in damages because what you are doing is illegal. That stopped it right there. I sent the letter afterwards. No more phone calls. But it pissed me off because that's not a mom's fault, and she was only doing the right thing. I didn't get mad at her. I got mad at the creditors. And yeah, I can understand you're doing that, but you are not allowed to do illegal shit, like call up your employer and say, well, this is such and such credit agency. I want to check on. No, it's illegal. How do I know this? I'm not a lawyer. I look these things up when it happens to me, all right? And so I want to end with that. I didn't want to end with anger, because I'm going to stay 5 moments and calm myself down. But that's another thing that I'm trying to address is I have an anger issue. I know I can control anger because 2 times in my life I had the capability of using lethal force against someone who was harming my family, and I didn't, and I would have been justified. And so I know I can control myself, but I can still get angered, and I wanted to work on that. And now Now I think I've got it. Now she's playing with a knife. Let's see what she was playing with. All right. This is what little girl likes. I'm gonna let her play with it a little bit more, but it's a Barlow. She's gonna be involved in this stuff whether she knows it or not. Sometimes she might pick a winner based upon what knife she touches. We're gonna come up with a. Here, go. I want to take your toy away. Go ahead. Play the Barlow game. It's closed. Not a naked blade. Let me go down here and look at her. She's learning how to use a knife, which is kind of dangerous, you know. She's already got claws and teeth. Oh, you can't do that. You're going to wake people up. I'm sorry. We have to get something. You're making noise. Now, see, normally this would be a way. If you ever have a beef with someone, the high ground, especially in an apartment, you can make life miserable for someone below you and make it seem like an accident. You know what? They're my friends. I don't want to make noise now. They're my friends. So I'm going to give her a soft toy. But see, that's how I've changed. That's one of the ways I've changed. If you pick on me or you try to bully me, I know ways of getting back at you that you would not. I know techniques of revenge, all right? I know secret ways. I've got ways of I can get pretty low down, you know, if I wanted to. But I don't want to do that in life. I don't want to have any enemies. I want to have friends. I don't want to make enemies. I don't want to get angry. I want to be happy. I want to enjoy my life, whatever it comes with cats. And for the rest of my life, I don't want to put myself in any more mental traps, you know, like you can't afford an animal. You can't afford glasses. Uh, Holding grudges is a good thing. You're going to show them 13 years. I mean, all it showed is how stupid I am, really. And I realize it. I'm dumb. I'll admit it. You know, when I do something stupid, I'll be the first to admit it. And when I'm right, I'll stick to it to the end. And one of the things I say right now, and I've said before, I'm not going to make it a political channel, but if it gets to the point where America is trying to go full blown fascist and starts doing martial law, well, I'll try to let you know that you might not hear from me anymore because I will resist that. I don't think it's going to come to that, really. You know, that's why I don't want to get worked up on that because um, I think it's all going to resolve itself. And the way it's going to resolve itself is we've got to become united again. We've got to start trusting people. Um, the difference between when I grew up and now is just like I said with the example of the wheelchair. It should not be a rare thing to help someone out, especially someone disabled. It shouldn't be a rare thing in America to help people that need help from other countries. Like if we got excess food, give it to them. They're not terrorists. So what? We're not being taken advantage of. I'm passionate about things like that. I'm willing to talk about them, but I don't want to drag it in a knife thing and a knife channel, you know. So I'll try to do those. If I do them, I'll just do a specialized one, say anything goes. But every time I could do a live and let you guys, you know, use your goodbye, Klaus. I'm gonna end this. Like I said, we're reaching my end here. Speed Racer is on, officially ending. So Klaus has said it too. I'll see you guys tomorrow, everybody. I appreciate every one of you, and I hope you have an enjoyable day. And if you ever run into anything where you need to talk and you don't want to do it public, let me know and I'll give you my phone number. You can text me. I have more than one phone. I'll give you those other ones. The second phone that I've got is I don't I don't have it on ring. I leave it on vibrate, and I don't always have it on because the person that had it before had a house or something, and I get a lot of unknown calls on that. But I'll give you my regular number here because I don't care. Anyways, thank you guys. I'll see you tomorrow late afternoon or something like that, where we'll do the giveaway for the. Again, it's the Big Belly Knives. I'll go through there. I'll do a random search generator, comment generator. We'll see it all live. it'll pick it, and we'll go from there. If it's a person that doesn't want it, or it's somebody we don't recognize or something, I mean, we'll wing it, you know. But that's what's going to happen tomorrow. So I've been on for 3.5 hours. It's the longest live stream I've ever done. I can understand people not watching it. Watch it in segments if you want. Don't watch it at all. I don't care. But I do care that all of you have really helped me out in life. And if I can return the favor, I will. So with that, have a good night, morning, or whenever you see this. And I'll try to, I can't terminate it on this one. I'll do it on this one. What does it say here? Top fans, no. It says, are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yes. Yes, I do.